aggravated identity theft, robbery, and fraud. Investigators say a video captured the man taking Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's purse while she dined at a restaurant in Washington, D.C. on April 20th under the protection of Secret Service agents. He later used Noem's stolen credit cards to buy over $200 in food and alcohol. Noem's purse was recovered from his hotel room. Bustamante Leyva is also suspected of stealing purses from two other people earlier this month. In a prepared statement, Noem referred to Leyva as a career criminal. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Power just about fully restored in Spain and Portugal, although many questions remain about what caused one of Europe's most severe blackouts. Travelers delayed by yesterday's outages have been crowding into train stations today. News and analysis at townhall.com. Jet overboard.
It happened on the USS Harry S. Truman, which is in the Middle East. Sailors were towing an FA-18 fighter jet into place in the hangar bay when it slipped off and landed in the Red Sea. A defense official says the crew members who were in the pilot seat of the Super Hornet and on the small towing tractor both jumped out. The sailor who jumped from the aircraft sustained a minor injury. It is unclear whether there will be an effort to recover the jet, which cost about $60 million. The incident is under investigation. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Amazon's first internet satellites are in orbit. United Launch Alliance's Atlas rocket blasted off yesterday from Florida, carrying 27 of the Amazon satellites. The latest entry in the mega constellation market, currently dominated by SpaceX and the Starlink venture. Amazon aims to put more than 3,200 of these satellites into the orbit. Much to the dismay of astronomers, they say it spoils the view. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Ah, yes, the truest of all the days.
Yeah, it's still April. Although I don't think any of us are in April mode anymore.
No, it's so weird. I have people like, it's like people are planning for June events now. I'm hearing like, coming up next month, that's June.
Yeah.
We're still in April, literally.
Well, and it's like all these May 1st, because May 1st is Thursday, National Day of Prayer. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on May 1, and then this weekend, I'm like, oh, that's in May. Oh, that's this weekend.
Yeah. This is what I imagine it's got to feel like all the time living in a town like Texaco.
Yeah.
Where like you call your buddy down the street and he's an hour behind you because he's in Central Time and you're in Mountain. It's just it's a very odd place to be.
Their gatherings are always confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'll meet you at 3. Your time 3 or my time?
I watched a little like mini documentary about this border town on the Canadian border.
Okay.
And how the border essentially goes straight through the town.
Okay.
Down their like main drag.
It's like one side of the road's in Canada,
literally,
one's in the US.
It is. Yeah. If you want to go to the store across the street, you have to go into Canada, then go to that store.
It's kind of like Niagara Falls.
It is. There's one spot in this town that sits directly on the border that they use for like meetings and like they've had like I think they had like a wedding there from like somebody who was up from Canada from America.
Does that mess with wedding like wedding licenses. And well,
I gotta imagine
the ceremonies in Canada, you need a Canadian license or U.S. side of the building.
It's the only place in this entire like town that is safe, a safe zone where like you can cross technically into Canada without
getting a passport, do all the whole
having to go through the rigmarole. Yeah,
I guess if you're just trying to get gas.
Yeah, and that's what honestly it talks about that. Like, people will like have to go through check the pass checkpoint or whatever,
right,
just to come up to this place to get gas because it's like 50 cents cheaper.
Yeah, well, it's probably worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they had all like, I don't know about the fireworks rule or cigarettes rule. Usually, one part of town's way cheaper than the other. But Niagara Falls is like that. But there's a distinct Canadian side and a distinct American side. By the way, I haven't been in 20 years, but when I went, Canadian side's way nicer than the American side. I don't know if that's changed. Like the American side looked like it hasn't been updated in 30 years.
It's just gum on the walls all the way up to the border, and then it's just clean.
Matter of fact, we had dinner in a restaurant there, and I had the biggest dessert of my life. Ever.
Was it a baked Alaska?
No, it was a sundae.
Oh.
Now, we were like in a kind of like a private version of Applebee's or something like that. It wasn't Apple, but it was a restaurant of that ilk.
Sure.
I ordered this brownie sundae thing, and they said, well, the chef wants to try something. You want to give it a go? And I said, yeah, let's slap it.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
And this thing showed up on the table. Literally 10 of us could have ate this thing and not finished it. It was this massive sundae.
The chef has passed judgment on you as an individual. You mind if we bring you a dessert for 7?
So that's one thing I just remember of my trip to Niagara Falls.
That's fantastic.
This ginormously large dessert that I got. Falls are cool too, but that dessert was huge.
I can't remember if Mythbusters did it or not, but somebody ran the "Can you survive going over the
barrel
falls
thing?"
In the barrel? Yeah. And no, you cannot. Turns out.
I think there is.
They put Buster inside of one of these.
Right. But I think in actual history there's a lady that survived in the barrel over the falls, like back in the 20s or back when they wore the big dresses. Right? Yeah, she went over. I don't remember but I think she survived.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I want to say she survived.
Huh.
So
now
I don't know. I don't remember the whole story. It's been a minute, but something like that. Speaking of Canada.
Yes.
My brother, he sent me a birthday gift that came in the mail yesterday.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool. I was now it's going to be 99% obscure here in town. I'm going to wear this thing.
I think you are going to be surprised.
I don't think anybody, but of course, anybody that's listened to the show for a minute knows that we are fans of the show Letterkenny.
Yes.
And by default, Shoresy for me because of the hockey. But anyway, it's a Canadian TV show that's on Hulu, and it's a comedy, and it's anyway, go watch it. It's pretty funny. If you like funny things, it's funny. But anyway, we're fans of it, and so I actually got my brother onto it a couple years ago, and he likes it too. So for my birthday, he's in the mail shows up a hockey sweater from the Letterkenny Irish with number 69 Shoresy on the back.
Nice,
and it's a legit nice. It's
quality. Yeah,
it's game quality.
I'm not even mad. Mine's not movie quality. The only thing I love it. I think it was great, but is that their colors? Because I thought that they were green and white.
They had a red one too.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, I think the early.
Okay.
Like as they got good, they had more jerseys.
I was thinking of the back-to-back boats.
But
episode.
I think the OG jersey is that red.
Is that red? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's when they first started playing just basically beer league hockey before it got a little bit upscale.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think they went with the that powder blue and all, because they were complaining about the colors, if they remember right. Or is that Shoresy? I started to get my Shoresy and my Letterkenny mixed.
Well, now I need to go back and watch the episode because you don't really see much of Shoresy in Letterkenny. Like,
yes, but he's all over Shoresy.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because technically the guy that plays Shoresy in Letterkenny is the main character.
Is the guy that plays Wayne.
Is a different dude.
Right.
And so to kind of combat that, they pull a home improvement on Shoresy in honor of the badge, all the events that go on during that week. So anyway, we're playing that interview for you here about 8:15. And then John Hauser's going to join us from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales in the 9 o'clock hour. He's going to join us via the telly. This Thursday, also, remember I said all kinds of stuff happening May 1st? Mm-hmm. May 1st is their one Easter day. I know we've been talking about it for a minute, but
it's finally here.
This Thursday out at the ENMUR campus, they're having a one Eastern day talking about everything, including the Ruidoso campus, the main branch of Portales, obviously the Roswell campus, and talking about their whole event. So John will join us on the phone, kind of tell us the skinny on what's happening on Thursday. And then, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the newses, the local, national, variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else I can come up with for today's show.
So I did find out that the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel was Annie Edison Taylor.
Okay.
A 63-year-old school teacher from Bay City, Michigan. On October 24th, 1901, Taylor became the first person to survive the plunge over the fall. Motivation was financial. She hoped the stunt would bring her fame and fortune.
Yeah.
We are talking about her today, so, well.
I knew there was one, at least.
How I want to do it. If a 63-year-old school teacher can do it, I know I'm not the best of health, but I could take a bump or two.
I don't think it's about the health thing. I think it's just luck. How do you set up your barrel? Did you set it up to keep you from...
I think it's the same concept of how, like, a drunk driver, I know it's a horrible thing to talk about, how they tend to survive because they don't tighten up.
Maybe she was 3 sheets to the wind when she got into that thing.
Or you can't really see anything inside of a barrel, so you can't know to tense up before you hit. And so, when you...
Yeah, but I think once the drop hits, you're tensing.
Well,
you're going to feel that drop.
you're gonna tense, but you're going to tense after the fact.
But I think it's not the drop that's going to kill you. It's the impact at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the fall. It's the hitting the water at the bottom.
So unless you have a
concrete-like surface.
Unless you have a coronary in the drop between there because of the fear or whatever, you're going to...
Yeah, I'd be more worried about the sharp rocks at the bottom.
But you're going to tense up once that drop hits. You know what I'm saying? And it's the falls, so it's not like you're going to feel that drop and hit. Like it's going to be a minute of whoa.
Yeah, I think the concept is you wouldn't stay with the fall. Like you would go out of the falls, and if you
either way, it's going to take a minute.
If you hit at an angle, the impact wouldn't be as severe.
Yeah.
But again, that's just fate.
I think I feel like in the world we live in today, I'm surprised Red Bull doesn't have like an event where people design goofy things because they do all those not air races, but the ones where people design their own little flying machines.
The Flutogs.
And I'm surprised there isn't.
You're actually, I'm
design your old barrel that would survive. Because in modern technology, I feel like we could make one that someone could survive in.
I'm guessing.
We put people on the moon for pizza.
The Niagara Falls people are probably.
They might.
They're probably poo-pooing it.
Wow. Again, enough money. The poo-poo says, come on down. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, but you got to convince two sides.
Give it to them in Canadian dollars.
Who aren't exactly talking right now, okay? If we're being honest.
Pick a side. And do all you
but then you got to be careful, because what if you drift over?
Hey, they let Walendas walk across that thing. Why don't they let people go down it in
different time, man. The Prime Minister, whole different bang. Shebang-a-bang. But
maybe that's what we need. Let's bring that piece together.
That is what will truly bring
Letterkenny and Red Bull sending barrels over the Niagara Falls. That'll be it.
Give it a tug.
That's right. All right, 7:18. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We should have sunshine across the entire area today. 83 for the high in Roswell, 89 at Carlsbad, and 86 at Artesia. And then tonight we have a fast-moving cold front headed through. Slim chance of a shower or two. We'll be down in the 50s on the low. We'll be back sunshine on Wednesday, and our afternoon highs slightly cooler, staying around 80 and a little windy. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 27%. Winds say are a bit breezy. And according to my weed tree, it's moving pretty good. Out of the north, 20 gusting to 28. Today, sunny skies, low 80s, 81 our high today. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. That chance of rain tonight is so slight that they don't even mention it by the National Weather Service. They're just saying partly cloudy tonight. Overnight low of 51. Southwest winds 5 to 15. Wednesday, 79 and sunny tomorrow. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night. Overnight low of 56. West winds 5 to 15. Thursday, sunny, 87 for a high. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Shifting it to the southeast in the afternoon. And then Friday, that's when rain chances, they still holding steady for Friday and Saturday rain chances right now. We're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon. Mostly cloudy, 69 for a high. Friday night, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, overnight low 54. Saturday, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly for the afternoon. Cloudy with a high near 70, so cooler temps too, 60s, 70s for Friday and Saturday. Saturday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers, and then Sunday, even a 20% chance of rain with upper 70s and breezy. 30% for Saturday night, and a 30% on Monday with a high of 81. So they're adding rain chances. Usually they're taking them away. So I don't know if that means we're going to get more rain, but sure seems like it. We'll see. All right, 20 minutes after 7, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then folks from Change Course, New Mexico will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Step into a world of knights and fairies at the Lincoln Forest Renaissance Fair, May 16th, 17th, and 18th at Wingfield Park in Ruidoso. Presented by Oso Productions, the fair features thrilling armored combat, over 100 unique vendors, fun for kids, and live music all weekend. Don't miss the Young Dubliners on Saturday night. Sponsored by the Village of Ruidoso and Lincoln County Lodgers Tax, Fusion Medical Spa, Jack's Backstage, and Ruidoso Parks and Recreation. Visit LincolnForestRenFair.com for tickets.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,372 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold steady to 8 higher, feeder cattle steady to 5 higher, packer cows and bulls $5 to $10 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $425, $460. 3 to 400 pound heifers $402, $415. 4 to 500 pound steers $357, $425. 4 to 500 pound heifers $346, $402. 5 to 600 pound steers $355, $357. 5 to 600 pound heifers $298, $346. 600-700 pound steers $312, $355. 600-700 pound heifers $270, $298. 700-800 pound steers $268, $312. 700-800 pound heifers $265, $270. Packer cows $145, $158. Canner and cutter cows $138, $143. Packer bulls $180, $190. Feeder bulls $160, $165. Top half the cow calf pairs $3,000 to $3,500 per pair, and the bred cows not well tested this week. Expecting another good run of cattle for next Monday. Until then, this is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Change Course, New Mexico, Stacy Walkwood's back with us, and Larry Marker. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It's been a
How you doing this morning?
Doing great. It's been a few minutes since we talked to you guys. How's life been treating y'all? I know you've been busy, but
oh yeah, we're always busy,
yeah.
always up to something. So.
There's a lot going on. We do need to mention it's day 100. Day 100. What a beautiful day.
There you go.
Day 100.
For folks not familiar, Change Course New Mexico is it's a grassroots, nonpartisan, kind of a watchdog group or just a public, basically, just keeping tabs on all the things that make New Mexico you mad at it. Basically, I mean, it's kind of like it's New Mexico is such, and I've said this 1,000 times. Like, you want to know why New Mexico's screwed up? Spend the afternoon in Lincoln, New Mexico, and just read everything in the museums, in the courthouse, and it'll give you a good clue. This has been screwed up from the jump.
Yeah, right.
And it's never been non-corrupt.
You make
ever
a good
since.
point. Larry's going to talk to that point today.
And so really, this organization's really to kind of be that, watchdog, be that, voice for people that, and obviously, we talk about our legislature and obviously this part of town, we're all conservatives, most conservatives around here and things. My point has always been, look, conservative or not, I just want to get us back to the middle. That would be a victory.
That would be a
right
victory.
there. Is because right now, conservative folks, as long as I've lived here, and I know, never have a real voice in the legislature. I mean, yes, they make some arguments, they'll stir a pot or two, but they don't have the power or the backing to ever do anything other than, make some noise.
Well, we have a plan to change that. We actually have a plan to change that.
That's what this is about. Let's start listening and getting back to the middle, and this isn't about Democrat or Republican. This is just about family values. Generally,
surviving and thriving.
And the American way of life.
Yes, being able to do the things you want to do and live the way, and everybody doing that, and not. And so that's really what you guys are doing. And so that's what you guys do. You keep tabs on this stuff.
We do.
When there's things going on, like obviously, you guys were busy this last 60 days. Anytime anything funky or smells bad comes out of a committee somewhere, you guys are putting that out for the public. And that's what you guys do. That's what Change Course New Mexico is all about here.
Well, you make a good point, and the reason I came today is to talk about upcoming events that we have.
Because we need more people to get involved.
Involved and informed in what's happening. And that's really important. This Friday night.
Yes.
5:30 to 7:30. 935 West Mescalero.
Okay.
We have a free film.
All right.
We've got a Border Patrol agent there to do a Q&A afterwards.
Okay.
But this film is called What is Treason? Trafficked.
Okay.
It's not your usual film that goes so into depth about what the trafficked children go through as it is the political machine that brought them in.
That fosters this underground, this ability to traffic and do the, turn the other cheek. It's
been our government.
The Epstein escort of the world. That ballpark we're talking here.
I'm telling you, the shocking thing is churches
does
were
not,
involved.
You know what? It does not.
NGOs.
It's and this is the thing. It's money.
Yes.
It's always about
what
money.
It went back
values. Everybody's values. Do diminish as the dollar signs go up.
Especially when it's in the millions and billions.
Exactly.
And that's what happened. Well, today everybody's talking about Doge. They're talking about, the immigration problems.
Yeah, the USAID stuff and all that's been coming out of that thing.
So this is really relevant to what happened.
Absolutely.
And I know that it's an uncomfortable subject, but you know what? We cannot speak out. We can't be well educated about what's going on, where our tax dollars are going, what our government's doing.
Sure.
If we don't look at the problems, the issues, what's right in front of us.
Sure. Well, and you got to be willing, all of us, to suffer from the gauntlet that it takes to do that, because this is what happens.
Yeah.
If you notice, the more you try to bring things in the dark to light, the more people tend to try to cheapen and darken and cut you out of it, disqualify you, basically.
Right.
And so there's a lot of people that aren't willing to step up and say they know what's wrong, because the moment they do, all right, buzzword, whatever it is coming out at you here. And so there's a real fear of that. And that's why I think, coming out and having some snacks and enjoying a movie might be the thing that just puts you, say, you know what, okay, I'm not going to believe everything or not, but you know what, it's enough to say something ain't stirring the Kool-Aid and something's going on.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah,
but you're right. People are right to concern themselves with the retaliation and the retribution. But that right there tells you that there are some issues, and especially in New Mexico.
Sure. So, I mean, that's why, and to be honest, to overcome this, we're going to have to bust through that. We're going to have to,
Cowboy up.
Show the trivializations. Like, yes, just because I disagree with you doesn't make me a racist or a Nazi.
No.
It just makes me disagree with you.
Well, and what I say to people who want to turn their head and not even acknowledge or indulge in anything that's going on, this is how this happened.
That's
the
how
last
Germany.
4 years.
That's how Hitler. And this is the thing I always tell people. I know I'm getting a little off, but you don't realize everyone talking about Hitler as an evil man. Prior to that, he was beloved in Germany. He won the heart of the people by being every man, by coming and claiming all the all the same crap you're seeing from the Democrats right now.
I know.
That's exactly how Hitler came in, handing out the charms and handing out everything and giving people hope. Yeah. And then once he got it, then you saw the rest.
I know.
That's how it works, folks.
So
they ain't going to come in here evil. They're going to come in here with lollipops and lure you.
Right.
Yes. That's how it works.
The best weapon we have is to inform ourselves, to be well educated. Even if we just speak to our friends and neighbors about what we know, you're helping inform and educate other people. And you never know who can take action. It makes you more aware of your own community when you see something that's not quite right.
Well, there's strength in numbers.
Yes.
Just like in anything, you get enough people saying the opposite. Yes. It turns the tide.
It does.
And that's where we got to get to. We got to get people, and unfortunately, we live in a world where social media and information can spread quicker than we ever before.
I know.
And
so fast.
And that creates such a problem because so many people are so willing to believe anything they see.
That's true.
Regardless of source, regardless of any kind of research.
Well, that's something unique about this film. It is a documentary. It literally, it takes congressional hearings. It takes people who worked the process or lack of
Absolutely.
process.
I would love to invite people that kind of think this is a bunch of hokum.
Right.
Like I want to.
So they could see it. Yeah,
no offense.
in real time.
I don't want to preach to the choir. There's gonna be a bunch of people that I already know this stuff. I want to get people that are kind of thinking this is BS.
Yeah, right.
This isn't true. That's not what's going on. Come see it. Come see the evidence. Come, and then if you think it's BS afterwards, God bless you.
I know.
But I'm going to say, you might say, you know what?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's put down your own things that you've built up, misgivings, whatever, because we all got opinions. We all have it. And so events like this, come in with the open mind. Come in and just come in and watch it. Even if you are already on the train and on board with this, come in and test it too.
Well, I guarantee you, I watched it. I had no idea. I came away with so much knowledge from this of who the political players are. You'll be involved. Both of our political parties were involved. Most people in Congress were involved.
I've been saying this stuff for years.
Like I said, churches and NGOs. It's like, wait a minute. We need to know, who's facilitating this and who's still there.
People are only your friend as long as the money's there. When the money's not there anymore, your friends go away. And you'll know it's a hard lesson to learn, but you all learn it at some point in your life.
Right.
And that's exactly what's been going on here. And that's why, this is why I encourage you guys, come out, get more involved, and it's about, because you're fighting against a war chest that's going to be way bigger than anything you've ever imagined. That's the people that are doing these things we're talking about have a lot of power, a lot of money, and a lot of influence.
Yeah.
And they are adept.
We see the struggle right now going on with the new administration. Yeah. They're still there. They're still fighting to keep things the way they were.
And I mean, look at now. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to, but Elon Musk does enough things to make people think he's goofy because he just is a goofy dude. I'm not going to deny that. But now that the world's turned him into the next evil, and I'm like, really?
I know.
I mean, you see what he's got. I mean, what's he gaining from anything that's getting out here? He's taking a loss on from his businesses to everything, and yet y'all still think he's doing this for. I mean, think about it. Think about he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He don't like losing money. Billionaires don't lose money. Yeah. That's not how this works. And so that's why I say, look, put all what everyone's saying, because he'll help you. Yes, he's a billionaire eccentric weirdo, and I think he's autistic. So yes, he's going to be doing things that just people are like, what is that weirdo doing?
Well, and they're upset about the stuff he's finding.
Yeah.
That's what's astounding.
He's finding the truth.
But
and that's. But I know I got way off topic here.
Yeah.
I'm no Larry's itching marking, but we really want folks to come out here Friday night.
This
Again,
Friday night, 5:30.
935 West Mescalero East Door. Is that someone's house or?
It's actually Grace Community Church.
Grace Community Church.
Yeah,
Okay, very good. We just couldn't.
They're not sponsoring it.
Perfect. So you didn't want to. I just wanted to kind of
facilitating.
give people an idea of what that was when you put in your GPS
Right.
there. But come on at 5:30 to 7:30. Obviously, to see the movie, you want to be there right
Yeah.
at 5:30.
Yes.
I get it. Sometimes work happens and life happens, and
We've
you can't
got
get there till 6.
snacks and stuff, so you can come straight from work.
Yeah. So really come and learn. And see, like if you do miss the beginning, I'm sure there's a link somewhere you can go finish it on your or catch
Sure.
the beginning on
We're
your
going
own.
to talk about it afterwards with the Border Patrol.
Discuss.
too.
And this is an
Good.
opportunity to really talk and hear what's going on. Hear the unfiltered, or untainted side of the story.
Well, and whoever comes that evening will get a glimpse of what we have lined up, basically for the rest of the year.
Gotcha.
We have another event May 8th.
Okay.
So it's just a week after that, and that will be on 1009 West Alameda, which is Calvary Baptist Gym.
Excellent.
In the gym there. We're going to have a town hall meeting, which is what Larry's going to talk to
That's
you
where
about,
we're
an
transitioning.
initiative, that
Stacey's
we
doing
have.
a segue. Good job.
Segue to the territory.
Shoot, I'll let him come in. Stacey
I got this down. So, and after May 8th, we've got something unique coming up.
Yeah.
Because people don't get excited when you tell them we're going to have a political speaker.
Yeah,
or
that's already going to evoke
right?
people put their guard up right away.
Yeah. So we have a new idea that we're going to start in June.
Okay.
We're going to do it once a month. So far, we've had Area 52 laser tag offer to host us at least the first month.
Nice.
But
They
I
got
was
VR
noticing,
kind of stuff too. Yeah.
I was noticing that they do trivia nights at the Liberty,
Okay.
and everybody has teams.
Yeah, the Mind Pro
everybody
trivia is
enjoys it. So we've already lined up. We have people to talk about gun rights, people to talk about ranchers' rights, people to talk about alternative health.
Okay.
Basically, what we're going to do is a fun atmosphere where you come out. We're going to have a little short presentation. We'll do quizzes. We'll have teams that come up with answers. And we always bring it back to, okay, what can you do with this information?
Gotcha.
Where you are.
So it's kind of like like when you played like Jeopardy in class and history class to learn.
Yes,
kind of
it's called Truth and Consequences.
Nice.
So,
not the town or the game show.
I
This
know.
is a different game.
So we've got stuff coming up, but Larry has a super important initiative, and everybody should come out May 8th to listen to this, to ask questions.
Good deal.
You're talking about the state of New Mexico. He has answers.
This is you. Well, obviously, for folks that don't know, you've thrown your hat in the ring multiple times to try to get in here and keep. And obviously, you're not going away anytime soon.
No.
But yeah, talk a little about what you're cooking up now here.
Okay, we'll start this out with I've got some documents here. This actually, one of these is a letter that's circulating in Washington right now.
Okay.
We've got a pamphlet circulating right now. You can actually go to chisholmterritory.com.
Okay.
And you can take a look at what we've got. But what I'm going to talk about is a vision of what is possible, making a common sense case for reversion to the United States territory of Chisholm. And everybody's rolling their eyes thinking, what is
That's a lot of words.
Talk about? That's a lot of words. So I'm going to read this to limit my words. I am so sick of hearing myself talk over the last few years. I tell you what.
Well, it's been a minute on here, so.
Anyway, the citizens residing in counties located in eastern and southeastern New Mexico are pursuing congressional action to remove 12 counties from the jurisdiction of the state of New Mexico, with United States congressional designation of the subject 12 contiguous counties as the United States territory of Chisholm. Subsequent to the territorial designation, the territory of Chisholm will seek statehood. The state of New Mexico has continually violated multiple provisions of the compact with the United States, as well as the guarantee of a Republican form of government as enumerated in the Constitution of the United States. The citizens of the subject counties are pursuing this matter as a remedy to the past, present, and continuing illegal activities of the state of New Mexico pursuant to specific provisions and doctrines of established precedent of a political question. As such, the subject matters within the jurisdiction of the United States within the jurisdiction of the United States Congress, not the courts and not the state of New Mexico. Your support for this matter is critical to the future territory or state of Chisholm and the United States. The designation of Chisholm as a territory will replace one of New Mexico's progressive representatives with a non-voting territorial delegate. Statehood for Chisholm will result in 2 Senate seats and 1 seat in the House for the state of Chisholm.
So basically make us like Puerto Rico for now.
Yeah.
Until statehood.
Hopefully we'll only be a territory for about 6 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually a different take. I've also heard the, go secede to Texas kind of.
Yeah, this is reversion to a territory of the United States. You cannot. In the United States, you can't make a state from within the jurisdiction of another state. We're trying to remove ourselves from the jurisdiction of the state of New Mexico. It falls under the consent to be governed.
Okay.
You get into popular sovereignty and a whole bunch of legal doctrines. This was as simple as I can possibly make it without getting off way into the legal.
Sure.
To the legal
and you can
grounds
see there's
for this.
still a word salad there.
There definitely is a word salad.
I'm trying to picture that because of all the counties geographically. If you looked at a map, would we be...
Would be the southeastern corner and all the way up the eastern part, all the way up the eastern border up to Colorado.
Got you. So we'll be adjacent to Texas or...
Yes.
We're not like a bubble in the middle of New Mexico.
No.
I got you. Okay, that's what I was trying to...
We'll border Texas on the east, we'll border Colorado, and obviously a little bit of the Oklahoma Panhandle.
Sure, absolutely.
But Texas has their own issues. They're really struggling right now. So
it would actually be easier to become a territory and then our own state than it would be to join Texas. If we joined Texas, we wouldn't have any more of a voice than we have right now. And think of the advantages. Think of the positive impact we could have on a nationwide scale if we have 2 senators and a representative.
Well, even if we can make some of our own economic decisions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What we do with things, like I'm going to take a stab. This is where we might find problems, is the water rights.
Yes.
Because we got them. Other state lose. I mean, that's where they're going to be fighting, is for that water. So I'd be that way. Of all the things, I think people, like if people have opposition to this, with power, I think the water is going to be the one thing that they're going to be fighting over.
And the income from the natural resources of southeastern
absolutely.
New Mexico.
Tapping into that. But that's, and that's, because that's something, talking about New Mexico, we should be tops in a lot of things.
Yes.
Actually, this would be the wealthiest state in the United States per capita.
We could, as far as resources and things, we got plenty of it. It's just we have people that have been mismanaging and skimming off of many years.
Exploiting, you could say it like this. They're exploiting the resources and the people of southeastern New Mexico to advance the progressive cause nationwide. If we don't do something about that, we're participants.
Yeah, we all sit here and say it. All of us agree. How come every person, elected official, goes in poor and comes out rich?
They do.
Yeah. And they do, especially, when you get to, U.S. Congress, U.S. House, you've sold your soul to the party at that point.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me is we all know this, but we all just accept it. It's like, that's the part. It's like, no, stop it. These people have too much power. These people are supposed to work for us.
Yeah.
They're supposed to march to our drumbeat, regardless of what their personal feelings. It's what their constituents want. Right. That's who they're supposed to represent, and that's long gone. It's whoever, whatever. Why do you think that, U.S. Congress, the committees, everything, it's all about kickbacks and people, not people that are qualified to be in the room. There's people in the energy. You think there's any people that actually work in energy in New Mexico? No. People that get money, that get paid to make decisions, to do that. They have no expertise.
And speaking of committees, the committee that we have to deal with is the Natural Resources Committee in U.S. Congress, in the House of Representatives.
And we just accept this stuff.
Well, that's the committee that will deal with on the territorial issues. The first step in getting this done is for individuals to call their county commissioners, tell them to support this when I bring it in front of the county commissions. And right now, We're circulating a lot of information in D.C. trying to get representatives to get on board when we do have the support of the people in these 12 counties.
That's what's unique.
Yeah.
We don't have to ask permission from
We're
New Mexico.
bypassing Santa Fe. We're not asking the state legislators to do anything.
That has stopped us before. We've had to go through the courts. We've had to go through the SOS with petitions.
New Mexico has a great gauntlet of making things disappear. They've always been good at that.
So we're going above that.
Well, when you consider the first territorial governor of New Mexico was actually scalped alive.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
well, we were literally run by the mob. It was, I mean, not the Italian mob. It was the cattle ring, but it was mob activity nonetheless. Yeah, they didn't speak with Italian accent and eat pasta, but they were mobsters.
I don't think much has changed.
No, it's not.
The territory of Chisholm will be different, and then obviously the state of Chisholm will be a lot different.
Yeah, I know people listening are like, this sounds crazy. And you know what? On the surface, it is. But that's why you need to come. Come May 2nd here this Friday. Come back on the 8th.
Yeah.
And come here, Larry. Come see the movie. Kind of start. Right. And if nothing else, let it at least make you think. Open your eyes a little bit and say,
there is a legal path. There is a legal path to revert back to territorial status.
Well, in the past, states have split before too. Even now, some of the states that are in the same position we are looking for ways out.
Well, the grounds for this were in the Missouri Compromise, and then Arizona and New Mexico split from being one territory back in the 1850s. That was the same concept that when we had the Missouri Compromise, we ended up with Nebraska and Kansas.
Gotcha.
That's some of the same issues that we've moved into this. When you start talking about organic acts, enabling acts, all of the legal grounds to do this is legitimate. This is not pie in the sky, and it's not crazy. It's just that nobody's.
That's why you got to hear the conversation. Yes,
right.
You know, it's the headline you're hearing right now. It's that it's just like, and the internet trained us now. You see the headline.
We all hear about the greater Idaho deal or whatever it's called. Okay, those people are trying to pursue that through their state legislature.
Yeah.
We're going straight to the United States Congress. And right now, the political climate in Washington, D.C., this can't happen.
Yeah. Well, and this is how we do it. You battle in courts. You battle. This is what we're doing, you know.
See, we're going to be battling on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
The governor of the state of New Mexico and the government of the state of New Mexico, they're going to be on a level playing field with us. They're not going to have the advantage. They haven't bought all of those people off.
Gotcha.
When you live in a state that a governor is putting up billboards telling your president to go away, you need to do something different.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, have we not learned from COVID?
Oh, exactly.
I mean, how many more lessons do you need?
Yeah.
Actually,
we should have learned a lot.
Actually, the stuff that went on during COVID and all the battles we fought with the citizens petition for grand jury, the referendum project, and all these people keep thinking, well, y'all keep getting beat. Everything you try, you get beat. No, that was the grounds for this.
You know what? So what? Keep getting beat. You got to fight, man.
Exactly.
You know, that's the problem. Is you keep raising awareness, you keep ringing the bells, and you hope enough people hear at some point.
All over the state.
And that is the legal grounds for reversion to territorial status.
Interesting. So let's please come Friday.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure people are already. I know the thing we're talking about on the 8th, but I kind of want to talk about that now. So I'm sure we can do some of that on Friday.
On Friday, yes. We'll bring that up.
Please learn. You know, especially the trafficking, all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
You don't, like you said, everybody's involved, and you don't realize this is why they don't want to expose it to you, because everyone's going to come out with egg on their face, and it's going to come out. Look, some are going to be worse than others. This is this stupid SD list we've been talking about for 10 years or whatever it's been now.
Yeah.
You know, this is if these things ever do come out, there's going to be major turnover in the shift of power in this world. I'm not even talking about this country.
Well,
this
is especially relevant to us because we live here so close to the border. I mean, it was only a year or two ago they found a stash house of people in Hagerman.
Yeah.
I mean,
right in your own backyards.
You know, we need to be aware of what's going on around us.
And there's so many different other levels that aren't, immigrants across border sex trafficking. There's all other different avenues. Your kids, your 16-year-old, 14-year-old daughters also.
Right?
Yes.
I have teachers in the schools telling me that the cartels are targeting the brightest of the young men that are there.
It's a sick thing.
It's a serious problem here.
Yeah, It is stuff. And so this is come see the movie. This
Yes.
come bring your popcorn. Actually, popcorn's
We have
covered.
popcorn there. We've got popcorn.
You got the popcorn covered. And
Yeah.
it'll be this Friday night. Again, May 2nd, 5:30 is when everything gets underway. It'll go to
Yes.
about 7:30. I imagine that's the movie, but we'll have discussions and everything, so it may go a little long.
Yeah.
But come on out, 935 West Mescalero. Come bring a friend, bring more
Bring
people.
whoever you want.
Come and enjoy the movie, snacks, and have a good time too. I mean, we're talking about the
Exactly.
serious stuff, but make some friends. It's a social thing as much
It
as an
is.
educational thing.
It is,
And then
exactly.
mark your calendars for the 8th. And what's the address on that one
The
again?
8th is 1009 West Alameda.
And what-
Is Calvary Baptist
Calvary
Gym,
Baptist. Gym
in the gym.
And what time does that one start again?
At 5:30.
5:30, and come for that and
Yeah.
hear more what Larry's talking about here and kind of. All right, you heard the headline.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Come-
go to chisholmterritory.com.
Come
There
read
you
the
go.
article. Come
Yeah.
hear what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a lot in the weeds because anytime anything like this that's by design.
It sounds complicated,
Yeah.
but it's really not.
Lawyers are the richest people in the world for a reason because they're the masters of convoluting and gumming up the
Masters
work.
of manipulation.
That's right.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
do. For every Lincoln lawyer on Netflix, there's 37 others that aren't like him. I'm just
I
saying.
know. I know.
That's a good show, by the way, if you ever watch it.
Yeah.
I have watched that.
That's
Is a good
show.
show. Yeah, that is a good show.
I wish every episode, every world tied up in bows like that.
Again,
show.
just for more information on the Chisholm, just go to chisholmterritory.com.
Absolutely. And of course, I know if you go to Change Course New Mexico does have a Facebook page
Yeah.
and everything. I encourage you to like and follow, stay abreast. That, like you said, because every time, I mean, almost daily, you guys are posting
Yeah.
stories.
Headlines.
Most of it's New Mexico, but some of it's more on a
Well,
national
who's that
scale,
guy
too.
that just started
Yeah.
talking about the corruption in New Mexico? Alex Jones.
Yes.
That's on the
Yeah.
Chisholm.
Okay.
That's on the
He
Chisholm
actually
website.
came out and said we need to rescue the people in
All
New
right.
Mexico because it's so corrupt.
People don't
there.
realize this is a
So when
can't
they
say the word.
recognize
It's a
Yeah.
one
it
show here in
nationally,
New Mexico.
yeah,
And
it's pretty bad.
And the more you read, the more you study, the worse it gets.
And the bigger government gets, the more it affects you personally.
It's almost a clown. I feel like there's like a 2-hour Netflix comedy movie about New Mexico and how it's run, and if they show, like, you ever seen like HBO's got the It's Florida Man show, and they tell these true stories of things. Like, there could legit be one about the New Mexico government, and people would think it's like an Anchorman comedy. That,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, they wouldn't believe
And
it's
all
real.
true. It's
I
all
know.
absolutely true. And that's the message.
Unfortunately, it's true. Yes.
Yeah, I think maybe that's how we get it. Make a movie like that gets that level of goofiness and turn it into get some that'll get some heads. Unfortunately, people like documentary. All right, moving along. Make it a blockbuster Hollywood movie.
Oh
and,
yeah, then they're
so
entertained.
it puts a Maybe, there's Young Guns 3. Maybe we can work that angle. Because I haven't yet figured out what they're going to do for Young Guns 3. I'm like, they pretty much told that story.
you could do 30-second clips of that nightmare or that circus that we have in Santa Fe every year during the legislative session.
Yeah.
And see how corrupt and biased and slanted that is.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for the closed meetings and just see what
Oh.
actually is being said in those rooms. You'd probably be amazed at what's coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, this Friday night, May 2nd, that's going to be at 935 West Mescalero, Grace Community Church, 5:30 to 7. Come out and enjoy. What's the name of the movie again?
It's called What is Treason and then Traffic.
Okay. So you can do a Google search and kind of read a synopsis on it here.
There are
And then
trailers
come,
on it. Yeah.
Come, you can watch the trailers and then come and
Yeah.
watch the movie and stick around for a discussion
And don't
afterwards.
plan on sleeping too good that night, because once you see a lot of this stuff, it'll keep you awake.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the
But
sad
it
truth.
needs to.
Our eyes need to be open. That's
Yes.
just it. We
Yeah.
need people. It's so, like you said earlier, it's easy to put your head in the sand and
Yeah.
say, not my fight, not my,
And you
monkey."
can almost make an excuse for people doing that. We've got our lives and stuff, but in reality, we need to.
It is until it isn't.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's no, look at every world war. We're not in it. We're not in it until we're in it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
We're not in it until we're in it.
I know. This
So-
is at our doorstep.
Yeah.
We need to know what's happening.
Yep, absolutely.
So.
So, did we get it all? Is there anything we missed?
We did.
We could talk for hours, but we better not.
Yeah.
I have that same problem. Well, thank you guys and appreciate it. And we'll see you here next time. Anything we can do to get the word out and let
so
folks know, please reach out. We'll be happy to do that.
Oh,
So,
thank you, Mike.
thank you guys, and don't work too hard. Enjoy some downtime in between the crazy. You know, when you're uncovering crazy, it does tend to make you go crazy.
I
So
know.
reel it in every once in a while.
Don't become the monster you're fighting.
That's right. Sometimes you chase a rabbit hole and you get sucked in and can't get out. But thank you guys.
Thank you.
So much.
All right, it is 7:54. Let's pause for your SRN business update and a quick break before news. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. China's leaders are downplaying the potential impact from Donald Trump's trade war, saying they have the capacity to protect jobs and limit damage from higher tariffs on Chinese exports. The briefing Monday by several senior officials of different government ministries appeared aimed at shoring up confidence with promises of support for companies and the unemployed, easier lending conditions, and other policies that counter the impact of combined tariffs of up to 145%. Consumers across the U.S. will still be able to buy higher ethanol blend E15 gasoline this summer. The emergency waiver issued by the EPA prevents retailers in most states from having to stop selling E15 gasoline on May 1st. Domino's Pizza posted a decline in first quarter sales in its biggest market as consumers deal with elevated inflation and economic uncertainty. Restaurant traffic has slowed as consumer sentiment weakened. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone, get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires in month's end.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Step up to the plate and save at Roswell Honda. Now through the end of the month, the bases are loaded with savings, so you can score a home run and drive home a winner. Like 2.99% APR for 48 months on new Honda HRVs, 2.99% for 36 months on new Pilot, or 1.99% for 36 months on new Honda Ridgeline. Plus, major league savings across the lot on a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Step up to the plate and drive it home. Now through the end of the month at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council has approved acceptance of a donation of $546,000. The funding will be used for the police department to buy new barriers. These barriers will help with crowd control at large events. The donation comes from the Greater Artesia Foundation. The new barrier system will replace the police department's current fencing that is used. The Daily Press also reports that Police Chief Kirk Roberts reported the department is in the process of obtaining new vehicle dash cameras, body cameras, and virtual reality equipment and drones. Local health officials are reporting a new case of measles, and it's here in Eddy County. The latest case in an unvaccinated adult. This brings the total number of infections in New Mexico to 66. State Health Communications Director Robert Knott continued to urge vaccination, especially in children, as the outbreak in West Texas continues to grow. The majority of the measles cases in New Mexico have been in Lee County. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up with some baseball. We've got a game today, Roswell against Clovis. Roswell
9-14 overall. Clovis is 11-11. Both teams, though, are 1-3 in district play. Roswell's last game was a 7-1 loss against Carlsbad on Friday, and then Roswell, after today's game, will close out the regular season at Clovis this Friday. Meanwhile, Goddard on Saturday took a pair from Portales. First game was 11-0. Sophomores Jose Porras and Jaden Herrera starred in that game. Jose was 3 for 4, a double, 3 RBIs. Jaden 3 for 5 with a double. In the second game, Goddard beats Portales 5-2. Cameron Brown 3 for 3 with a double, 3 ribbies. Carmelo Ortega, sophomore, with 4 innings pitched and 8 strikeouts. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It has been a whirlwind 100 days in office for President, and he'll mark that milestone this evening with a rally in Michigan.
The president returns to a key battleground state to celebrate his second administration's early achievements. He'll visit Warren, Michigan, and Macomb County, just north of downtown Detroit. White House officials say the president has delivered on his campaign promises, from securing the border to removing the government's diversity programs. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Canadian voters have given the governing Liberal Party a fourth consecutive term. Former central banker Mark Carney will be staying on as the Canadian Prime Minister. An Ivy League school is accused of violating laws that guarantee women equal opportunity in athletics.
The Trump administration says the University of Pennsylvania illegally denied women equal opportunities by letting a transgender swimmer compete on the school's women's team and into team facilities. The administration's statement Monday doesn't name Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer who last competed for the Ivy League school in 2022, but the investigation opened in February by the U.S. Education Department focused on Thomas, who became a leading symbol of transgender athletes and a prominent political target. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
The lights are back on across most of Spain and Portugal, while questions persist over what caused one of Europe's most severe blackouts in recent memory. They range in age from 4 to 18 years. Those who were killed when a car rammed into a building that was hosting an after-school program in Chatham, Illinois, near Springfield. And severe storms have done a lot of damage across parts of the upper Midwest. Watching Wall Street this morning, right now, the Dow trading about 105 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A case out of Australia sort of sounds like something out of a murder movie script.
In a case that's shocked Australia, Erin Patterson says she didn't intend to kill her parents-in-law and another family member with a poisoned mushroom beef Wellington dish. She'd foraged for the fungi and told police she didn't know she'd picked lethal death cap mushrooms. But investigators say they now believe she'd already tried to poison her estranged husband 3 times. He'd been invited to the lunch too, but declined.
That's BBC's Celia Hatton. Reports of deadly violence in Syria's capital, a battle between local gunmen belonging to the minority Druze sect and pro-government fighters. This morning's bloodshed left at least 4 people dead. The clashes broke out after audio circulated on social media of a man attacking Muhammad, The audio attributed to a Druze cleric who later denied any involvement. News and analysis at townhall.com. Police in Western Canada insist it was not a case of terrorism.
30-year-old KG Adam Lowe charged with murder for allegedly driving an SUV through a crowd at a Filipino Heritage Festival in Vancouver, killing 11 people between the ages of 5 and 65 Saturday night. Police ruling out terrorism, saying Lowe had a history of mental health issues. Investigators searching for a motive, but say the suspect has a significant history of interactions with police and healthcare professionals. I'm Julie Walker.
The only black all-female unit to serve in Europe during World War II, commonly known as the 6888, will be presented with the Congressional Gold Medal later today. Follows a long-running campaign to recognize their efforts. Ceremony on tap at the Capitol Visitor Center, where lawmakers will present the medal to the family of the unit's commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams Early. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Deuce. Of Mornings on Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Ah, yes.
I like Tuesday.
It's nice.
It's not Monday.
No.
But I feel like, you know, it's like a day where I'm like, I can get some stuff done today, but I also like, I don't know, it's just Tuesdays. Like, I like Tuesdays better than Wednesdays, weirdly enough.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Well, because I feel like, and I've said this before, but Tuesday is Wednesday.
Yeah.
In that it's the middle of the week. And yeah, I feel like, well, this is the day that it's no longer Monday, so people are kind of like shaking off the weekend already.
Yeah.
Meetings are happening, and come Wednesday, I think that's why maybe we don't like it so much, is that's usually the day the big
the work
workload
dump.
rolls
Yeah, the
in.
work dump. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it from those terms, but you're right. Yeah, Tuesday's usually light because they're all in meetings,
Mhm.
and then Wednesday they dump on us when they from said meetings, and they get yelled at or whatever they get at in those meetings.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's usually when decisions get made.
That's right. And then Friday at 3:30 the other time. Right when everyone's packing up. I got 6 things I need you to knock out for tomorrow.
Well, you got to say true stuff to upset me.
Because I've been doing it.
It's early on a Tuesday, man. Let me bask in that.
Yeah. I was just trying to say I like Tuesday. You got to wonder why I like it other the other day.
It is one of those kind of days. And I'm really, really hoping that it doesn't end in a tornado warning. Which, by the way, did you see the footage from and I love that they're calling it the nipple tornado, the touchdown?
Oh, yeah.
Just outside of, well, not just outside of Roswell. It was actually it was closer to
This was Saturday, right?
Sunday, I believe. No, it was Saturday.
Yeah,
You're right.
because Saturday was the tornado warning.
Yeah.
Sunday was the dust storm
Was
warning.
the dust storm,
Yes,
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was it touched down, I believe, like just this side of Tatum.
Okay.
I think. So
yeah, I knew it didn't really hit people.
Yeah.
It kind of, fortunately, thank God, it stayed in places where people weren't.
Mhm.
So it was pretty much petered out to no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Just making, which thank God, that's
Mhm.
exactly what we want every time. But
that's why we put that desert out there. It's to absorb our tornadoes.
that's, right. That's our buffer. That's our Michael
Sucks
buffer.
it in. But what's crazy is we actually had like a noted storm chaser roll through the area.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember his name offhand, but
is it Bill Paxton?
No, it's like Renner or something. My kid's mom was like knows him, and her friend actually was talking about. Let me see if I can find his name. But yeah, I guess he was rolling through and was part of the storm chase.
Was it Carrie
team.
Elways?
It wasn't Carrie Elways. No. I thought she put it up there. Oh, by the way,
I'm out on famous.
Congratulations to Melanie on her new wheels. Did you happen to see?
No.
She got a Raptor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So congratulations to Miss Melanie from Glenn's Furniture.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was it's like Tim Renner or something like that.
Okay.
But he's like a noted storm chaser, and like people who like follow the storm chase community, which my kid's mom is definitely one of. She had a dream, and it's just sort of still there, of becoming a storm chaser.
Okay.
Because she's terrified of them, but at the same time, she's fascinated by them.
She grew up in that age where she's the perfect age for the movie Twister.
That's
what it was.
That was a big part of it.
They watched Twister and said, "I want to be a storm chaser."
Yep. But he came through, and it's always funny because they have like specialized vehicles.
Oh yeah.
That are like built heavy to the ground.
These
to, like, hold themselves
military-esque van-looking things that.
Right, but then this dude rolls through and he's in like a Yaris.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's like a tricked out Yaris, like with all like the radar and everything, and I think it's even like weighted down and stuff.
Roll bars and stuff.
Right, but it's just like a Yaris or whatever. But he's like a YouTuber. He posts his stuff up on there. So I just thought it was kind of cool that. I don't know how that works when you're a professional storm chaser. If you just listen to the weather radar and you're like, well, there's a good pocket right here. Let's head that way.
I think so. I think they're just chasing, following radar and following whatever's on their.
That's a lonely life, man. Living out on the road, just listening to scanners.
Well, and is he by himself?
He's got a team.
I was say usually it's a group of them. Like I saw Twister. I know how it works. And usually, and they show up at one of the mom's house for dinner, and then the storm starts. But you know. They go to a drive-in theater in here, but
let me see.
I have not seen the second Twisters movie yet.
I need to. I've heard really good things.
Is it? I've never seen.
I've heard
that
it's
one
really
yet.
good.
I'm still, that's why all my references are from the previous Twisters,
right?
Because I have not seen the new Twisters. I think it's called Twisters, right?
Yeah, it's Twisters.
Yeah.
Which
does it have a cow flying through it like the first one?
I hope. One could only hope.
Yeah, and what's her name was in it?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Yep.
She's kind of dropped off the radar the last few years.
It's crazy when you go back and look at who was in that movie. Carrie Elways, once again, in that movie.
What's his name?
Bill Pullman. Paxton? Pullman.
Paxton.
Paxton?
Yes.
Okay.
Pullman was the president from Independence Day. What's his name?
The guy who,
he's hugely famous. He's dead now.
I know. The guy from Polly.
Yes. Hunger Games.
Yeah, I know. It's literally
Capote. Yeah, his name went right out of my head.
We suck at this game.
We do. He was in
he was
Boogie Nights. He was in Boogie Nights too.
He was in Boogie Nights.
I can remember
Philip
all his
Seymour
movies.
Hoffman. My God, we suck.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah.
I was literally gonna say he was in Sahara. He has that line about my kidneys, my poor.
Actually, one of my favorite roles is the movie. I think it's called Polly.
Yeah, where
with Ben Stiller, and he's like the friend.
Yeah,
and he's like an actor, child actor that's still riding off that fame. And the scene where he's playing basketball and he does the make it rain and keeps throwing up bricks, I laugh to this day every time.
It's fantastic. the chest hair scene. I mean, it's just
and they go eat pizza, and he's literally eating the biggest slice of pizza I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like, man, this guy just clearly and he's clearly not famous anymore, but he's part of like some like community little theater in their town, and he's treating that like it's Hollywood. It's just a funny movie.
It's fantastic.
That's one of better. As a movie, it's but Seymour Hoffman's role in that movie is pretty good.
It's funny because
it's a lot of Ben Stiller.
It's a lot of Ben Stiller, but there's certain movies that become like memorable to you just because they're like a family movie, and that movie and The Stupids were huge in my kids' mom's family.
I've never got through The Stupids. Like I literally said, this is the dumbest movie ever. I said I should have known.
It's real stupid.
I said, why am I complaining? It's not like they didn't warn me. It's called The Stupids.
You want to experience a full frontal lobotomy? Back to back, The Stupids and Meet the Deedles.
Wow. Wow, that's the most devoid piece of entertainment I've ever seen.
That's the most 90s thing that's ever been said.
You throw a Jamie Kennedy thing in there, and that about throws out the trifecta.
Toss in a Biodome for a hat trick. Although Biodome, I feel like that holds up.
I ain't going to lie. Pretty much every Pauly Shore movie that gets put out, I like.
Yeah, I loved Son-in-Law.
I loved even Jury Duty.
Jury Duty was fantastic.
That one, In the Army Now. I liked all those
See, I
movies.
never actually saw In the Army Now.
And it's not as good as the others, but I still like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very
Pauly
much...
had a moment, man.
Yeah.
I watched, so there's a...
Encino Man, did we mention that one? That's the classic.
That's the classic.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on Disney Plus called More Than Just a Goof, I think is what it is. It's basically a documentary of how they made a Goofy movie.
Okay.
Which is one of the most important movies of my entire life. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I actually tell the story that it's kind of how I wooed my kid's mom in high school. I used to sing one of the songs from the movie and do all the voices.
Ladies?
Yeah. So it's a very important movie to me in my life and stuff. But they go into this whole thing about how Pauly Shore, with his character in Goofy movie, created the Leaning Tower of Cheese phenomenon of the mid-2000s, where everybody was creating their own squeezed cheese leaning tower of pizza.
Nice. I'm glad he was able to
cool
make his mark. He still has a podcast now.
Yeah,
like if you want Pauly Shore, every once in a while I'll see a clip from it, but I think he has a regular podcast where he's doing his, because he's I think he's more in it because his mom was a famous comedy club owner.
She was Mitzi Shore. She opened the comedy store.
And so I think most of his days is still doing that stuff with the comedy club and all that. But I think he does his podcast.
As I've gathered, he had a bit of a falling out. He and Mitzi.
Well, I think he's back in the fold. I think because she's dead, right?
Yeah, she passed away.
So I think he's doing the stuff now. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's.
Is Mitzi Shore dead? That's a good question.
I think she's no longer.
She
with
might. I think if it was just recent.
Yeah.
But,
I do need to get our interview
do.
going here. So, but
I'm just imagining Sean just singing like Goofy. Like,
oh no, I could do the whole thing.
Nobody else but you.
Don't get him started.
Dude, it's literally in my Spotify playlist. Don't get me started.
On that note, because I don't want him.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any Goofy movie songs. It's 8:16. Like I said, we're gonna play our interview we had
2018.
Last week with Amy McVeigh-Tejas talking character counts. Also with her were the CEOs for both hospitals, Nick Sharia with Loveless and Warren Yell with Eastern. And, of course, they're big, important character counts and all that stuff this week. So we had a great interview with them, and that's going on this week. So I just want to put that out there to remind folks and all that.
There you go.
And I got to do it. I've been itching, and it's been sitting in my head. I got to do it.
Okay.
In the midnight hour, cry more, more, more with a Warren Yell. Cry more, 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 more.
Sometimes you just have to scratch that spot in your brain. You
I
know?
had to do it. Every time I say Warren, I hear Warren Yell, I hear Rebel Yell, and I'm like, I got to do the song, and I got to do it in my head. So I did it one time just to satisfy that itch. All right. More. I hope people heard that. They're doing that to Warren today. That'd be kind of funny. All right, 8:17. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We should have sunshine across the entire area today. 83 for the high in Roswell, 89 at Carlsbad, and 86 at Artesia. And then tonight we have a fast-moving cold front headed through. Slim chance of a shower or two. We'll be down in the 50s on the low. We'll be back sunshine on Wednesday, and our afternoon highs slightly cooler, staying around 80 and a little windy. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 51%. Winds are a-blowing out of the north, 20 gusting to 36 miles per hour. We are looking at sunny skies and 81 today. Of course, the winds are not doing what they say. This is winds out of the north, 10 to 15. Clearly, that's not what it is right now, but that's what they're saying. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low of 51. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 79 for your Wednesday. Winds out of the west, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, 87 for a high. Northwest winds, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, rain chances. Good rain chances Friday and Saturday. You have 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms Friday. Mostly cloudy, cooler, 69 for a high. We're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday night. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 54. A 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms for Saturday, high of 70, and a 30% Saturday night with an overnight low of 56 under mostly cloudy skies. And then Sunday, 20% chance of rain, breezy, 77 for a high, and a 30% on Monday with a high of 81. So they keep adding the rain chances, not taking them away. So not complaining, just surprised. All right, 8:19, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll play our interview talking character counts with our hospital CEOs and Amy McVeigh-Tejas. Don't go away.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
It's been a long, cold, boring winter, and children in neighborhoods everywhere are waiting to hear those magical words.
The pool's open!
Summer weather has finally rolled around. Make sure your pool is ready. Preparing and maintaining your pool for summer the right way will create a season full of smiles instead of headaches and make your life much easier. Soft Swim, the chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard, only at Mays Lumber Company.
And now through May 15th, buy $100 in BioGuard products and receive a $20 mail-in rebate. 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
Joke's a thinker, because people don't know the movie Gone with the Wind. They don't realize that was a Civil War era movie. So, not a toilet flush. That, in case you were wondering on that joke. Good morning. It was 21 minutes. Sometimes you got to explain them. 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning to talk character counts today, we have the CEOs of both of our hospitals in here. Warren Yell with Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, Nick Sharia as well with Loveless Hospital, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with character counts, wearing that hat this morning, and Brian hanging out in the background too. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Fantastic. Yeah.
First off, thanks for coming. I know you guys, especially this time of day, because I imagine this is the day where you get hit with all the, that didn't go well, that's broke, got to fix this. You know what I mean? Is that time of this. So thank you for spending a few minutes with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, great. We're glad to be here.
Well, and this is something we kind of talk about a lot. I mean, obviously, the day job of what goes on at both your places is people getting taken care of and things. But this is kind of the other side that you don't see is both hospitals are very much involved in the community with activities and what we're about to talk about with character counts next week with, you know, if you just missed the last county commission meeting, they declared next week is character counts week. So, because there's a lot of stuff going on, but you guys always, as hospitals, always get behind things like this and say, this is the kind of stuff that we want to, be our part with the community with. So how does it end up that way? Does Amy just come blowing up your doors and say, hey, like the Kool-Aid Man? Or
But it's great. We want to engage. Amy came to me earlier in the year, and we're a sponsor for Character Counts. I've been to Gateway and awarded some of the medals to the students.
Oh, cool.
It's been a fantastic partnership.
It's kind of fun for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my kids go to Gateway as well, so I get to see them. And
Sure.
So it's great to be a part of the community.
Does the kids flock to you? Like, are they at the age where they come to you or run away from you at this point?
Well, I coach a lot of them in baseball as well, so they tend to flock to me a little bit, but they definitely flock to Amy a lot.
Yeah, well, once they get a little older.
Wasn't there. The kids were coming up. Where's
So he still got the cool points. All right, good. That does change after a while. You're like, oh, that's so cool no more. But how about for you, Warren? How was it that...
So for what it's worth, we almost set our calendar by it, and then even some years we're like, hey, I think this is coming up. We need to reach out. And
gotcha. So you're like, I'm
proactive.
proactive on it. This is something we do.
And I know we know this, but this time of year is always kind of a hectic time. You know, there's a lot of events, a lot of things. I think I'm quintuple booked most of the weekend.
Yeah, between school stuff and, it's just that time of year, graduations and people, it's just a lot going on.
It sure is. But same like Nick, we all have kids in the school systems here, and so we hear about it both from the school side as well as my daughter Miriam, she's nominated several teachers for this event as well.
Nice.
And honestly, it's one of the highlights. So kind of like you were saying earlier, the hospitals, we're here for the hospital and the ERs and the acute care and everything else. But, health is so much more than that. So
absolutely.
Healthy schools and healthy community and healthy events and the social determinant programs that are out there, like the Roswell Refuge and others. We really try to be involved in all those because the better they do, the better our systems can do.
Absolutely, too. And plus, it's also part of securing our future because at the end of the day, the Character Counts Week, yes, we're honoring some great people that do some amazing things, most of them under the spotlight here in our community. But at the end of the day, this is also a teachable moment for all of our young folks in Chavez County. And so for you guys, I imagine it's also, this is a bit of, hey, when, Loveless and Eastern are going to be here a long time. And we would love to see you guys come be a part of our teams day. And so I'm hoping a few kids get inspired seeing you guys there and say, you know what, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a x-ray tech. I want to be whatever that is, And so I think there's a little of that too, where we just show, as Character Counts, we're showing these kids how to treat each other, how to be good adults. But at the same time, it's also inspiring them to maybe see their past and see, maybe they see you guys up there doing this stuff and say, you know what, I want to be a doctor one day. I want to help people as a healthcare professional, something like that.
Yeah, sure. The lead time for recruitment is just insane. I mean, I know Nick's probably similar to me. We're recruiting 5, 6, 7 years out and you're planting seeds all the time.
So these are just some real seeds we're planting.
Yeah,
literally.
right, exactly. Very young.
These kids need some dirt and water.
That's right.
But that's cool. That's what I love about this as much as it is. And I love the fact that we honor, like you said, the teacher's character. That's one of the highlights usually of Character Counts Week here. And as my wife being a teacher and has received a few of those over the years, I know it is a really cool thing to, especially from my wife's perspective as a person that receives this award every so often. It's really nice because it's from the people that are day to day. It's these kids, it's the moms, the dads, the sons, the daughters. It's the people that these folks deal in and day out that are saying, you know what, this person went above and beyond what the normal person does in this position. And so it's kind of a real, especially when it comes from that place as opposed to, like award shows and everything are great, you win your Oscars or whatever, but when it's actually like the peers, the people that you impact day and day that are spotlighting you in here, it kind of has a little bit more of a special feel to it. So I from that perspective, it's really cool that you guys do all this, Amy, and everything else. And it's so cool that you guys support that kind of thing and keep going. Because quite frankly, I'm going to take a stab. Character Counts goes the way of the dodo if things like Loveless and Eastern aren't supporting it and backing it, and some other entities as well too.
On behalf of Character Counts in Chavez County, I was just on the phone with Tim Fuller. I want to thank Tim Fuller. He's the executive director. We graduated together. It's unique that character can be defined by resiliency and integrity. I think Character Counts as an organization has been resilient. And one of the greatest honors we've had is creating this dream team. And I think that these hospitals can set an example for our community. Coming together to work together for the good. What a concept.
Yeah, because technically at the end of the day, you guys are competing for the same nickel and all that. But
I love that. See, to me, they could be the trophy and these representatives of what our community needs. You know what? Get over yourself. And if you're from two, we come together.
Well, we're pretty unhealthy people. There's enough of us to go around.
It's a whole other conversation. That's exactly right. But let me just trickle down how this happens. and they make this happen.
Absolutely.
Character Counts week is next week. Don't forget it. And we still need sponsors.
Absolutely.
And
Get
it is
involved.
a moment for every school and every business to get involved. Get off your tails and do something great, right? If you're listening and people could make things happen, let's talk about this. We'd love to give every teacher a gift card. We may not have that in the budget. Somebody listening can make that happen.
We do have a lot of teachers.
We're going to honor volunteers on Monday.
Absolutely.
We're going to honor teachers, over 300 individuals. Thank you to Church on the Move for helping make that happen, Roswell Sertoma. Then we're going to honor the badge on Wednesday.
Excellent.
At the end of the day, Pioneer Bank, Sertoma, Church on the Move, and these amazing hospitals are making all that happen. But you know my heart, Mike, and we're not done yet. We'd love to give and give and give. So they're going to get certificates for Teacher of Character. They're going to get plaques. But we're not done. So if somebody listening is saying, you know what, nobody called me. Well, this is your personal invitation. It is not too late for us to go pick up gift cards and do things, because at the end of the day, we're celebrating silent heroes.
Sure.
We are that are of integrity, aren't telling their own stories,
Well,
but their kids are.
You know, and I
It's
hope,
a special time.
you know, we talk about teacher stuff. I hope folks got a chance to listen a little yesterday as we had some of the RFD and RPD talking about of course, the every 15 minutes. That's where we're focused on. And if just hear some of the, and yes, we talked a lot about the families and how it impacted, but we got a chance to talk to the first responders and how it impacts them too. These people see this stuff you guys, they roll into your places day in and day out every day. And they see this stuff day in and it impacts them too. And so yes, honoring the badge. I don't know. You go through events like yesterday, and it makes next week's honoring the badge just a little bit more important.
Right.
Because we all know what they deal with, but sometimes it's easy to get, I don't know, just a little immune to it, or a little, things get you harden yourself, and sometimes but sometimes you sit down and think, no, this is real. These people, what did you do today? I procured a burrito at Allsup's. I watched this, and you know what I mean? These guys, these men and women do something a little bit different, and so that's kind of why we do this. So it's so great that we get to honor, and I hope people. You did for your teachers. I hope all the students and all the parents, if you have one that you think is special, please nominate them.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, it takes a minute to honor all these teachers, and that's a good thing. I hope the thing's longer.
Well, and Tim and I discussed one of our favorite moments every year is when these amazing hospitals have booked their calendar, and their amazing chefs start getting excited about
y'all be talking about them
elevated
burritos.
menu.
I had one earlier this week. It's been great.
Of course, you might not be a hospital anymore if you pass one of those out to everybody. I'm sorry, we're bankrupt.
But to that point, I think, honestly, both our dietary teams, I think, do an amazing job.
Absolutely.
Mariano and Abdul. I think they both, if you want to watch a dietary team, give them a catering event, because they get to show off. And that's their art. That's their trade. They're practicing their passions there. And so it's a lot of fun to kind of give them the opportunity. Honestly, we just tell them, make it happen.
Sure.
And they do an amazing job.
Well,
And a little internal.
But this is kind of the stuff for you guys to keep your staffs and things, because quite frankly, you guys are in a very cutthroat industry. The moment your doctors and staff aren't happy, there's someone else waiting to hand them a bigger paycheck somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's very important, even just for, not for only just the customers and everybody else, but for your own people, taking care of them and doing that kind of thing. So, we joke about the burritos and the food and all that, but it's integral in the big picture of just being humans and health. So it's a good thing. So, but yeah, it's so cool that you guys do all, get involved in that kind of
Well, and they get competitive, but in an elevated, cool way. In the details, those details. How can we make this a little bit better?
Sure.
That's what I love. They're already talking
Well,
about.
Iron sharpens iron, right?
Let's put it this way: there won't be plastic tablecloths. And I think no, it's not going to happen. It's a very classy event, and we could never thank you guys.
Why are there no bubbles in my water?
Right.
That's right.
But no, it's a lot of fun, and like you said, Church on the Move, and there's so many staple groups and organizations that make this happen every year, and Yes, it's literally like a rock show every time they do the teachers and the honor and the badge and all these different traditions that are part of Character Counts Week. But if you still want to get involved, please reach out. What's probably the best way? Just contact you or Tim direct, maybe?
I think that's fine. Tim
Okay.
Fuller with University High, or you can
Tim
call
might
me-
be harder to
call-
get a hold
call
of,
the-
yeah.
Well, if you want to get involved today, call the museum at 622-8333. That's Historical
Yeah,
Society.
that's her day job,
I
in
would
case
be honored to connect and just touch another life, impact any way we can. And these gentlemen right here are a perfect example. And I'm sure they would be honored to know that we need a bigger table next year and we'd have 10 or 12 sitting at different organizations.
Absolutely.
To me, next level, what is it? Well, we'd love to work together to do that.
Let's say
We
game
can
on.
never honor enough.
We'll drop the gauntlet. Any other businesses, organizations that want to? Because this is your community. This is
It
this.
is.
But Character Counts it's building the foundation of this community. This is we're honoring mostly the adults that are people of character. But it's all setting the table, setting the example, teaching these kids. Because guess what? Every single one of these kids are going to be those doctors, those cops, those teachers, those folks that are doing this stuff day in and day out. And so I kind of like it because it also puts these positions on a pedestal a little bit. Where and let's face it, I'm sure law enforcement and the teaching industries are
and
both
volunteers.
desperately needing of new people, new fresh blood, and more people.
And we
to
could
be in
keep reaching out because just like when we worked with, partnered with Nick with Gateway,
Mhm.
there could be every school's getting medals. We haven't even talked about coaches and athletes we're going to honor. We at You Challenge, we honor.
Absolutely.
It goes on and on. This program is a dynamic program, and I think every day should be Character Counts Day, if you will.
Well, that's the thing.
That's one thing we can all agree on.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
We
Well,
can
and I
all
think
agree
most of us think of Character Counts. They think, okay, they see the posters and they see the pillars, and they
Yes.
say, okay, it's a thing that that's absolutely the surface of, but that's just the propaganda. That's the imaging. The real work is actually being the coaches, being the teachers, getting in these classrooms, getting in these being in the being good law enforcement, being excellent first responders, healthcare providers, all this stuff. These are people that save lives and do things and help people every single day, and it's part of their normal routine. Where and it's every industry. Even those doctors sitting in the hospital room, they deal with stuff every day that for you and I that would be an extremely crazy day, but for them that's like, well, this is Tuesday. This is just another day of the week, and so this is why we honor them, and we also want to foster the next generation of them because we're all going to keep getting sick. We're all going to need to be educated. We're going to need protection and law enforcement and safety and security. And these things are very important stuff. And that's why, and Character Counts is much bigger than that, but we kind of focus on some of those things. And I hope that parents use next week as a tool to talk to their kids about this stuff and sit down and say, with your family dinner table, when you're sitting down, I'm sure you guys do it with your family all the time. How did school go today? And they talk about Character Counts, talk a little bit about this stuff, and have that conversation with your kids next week a little bit. Help cement the messages and the reasons why all the different events and activities are going to be happening.
Well, and I think to your point, that's spot on. And what I really like about the program, and this kind of highlights potentially the conversations next week, and that's a valid point. I probably could do more of that. We talk about, how are your grades, and look at all the hard metrics, like A's and B's, and did you show up and everything else. But this really highlights those soft skills. And that's really, I know both Nick and I, as we're out there recruiting, the soft skills is really what's lacking in probably the world right now.
Sure.
Period. And so
you can train people for a specific thing, but how do they handle the ancillary when things don't work as advertised, or when
how do you be a good citizen?
Yeah,
what does that even mean? What is citizenship? That's one I've kind of personally struggled with 50 years ago. Was what you were as a youth. You were raised in that world. Nowadays, it's like, I don't know. I just live in this community. What does that mean? And how do I make the community better and items like that? Well, this is one of those programs that takes a minute, highlights those people that are doing it well, sets them up as examples. Because a lot of the people that get rewarded or celebrated for this, they don't do it for the fame and fortune.
Right, most of them are like, you have to kind of, do I really have to go for this? Can you just send it me in the mail or something?
That's true.
They tend to be very humble, et cetera. But at the end of the day, those are the kids. Those are the ones.
Right.
And so they're impacting the small group, the coaches and the like. But how do we get them and expose them a little bit further? And look at the great things going on in the community and the positive.
So I would even, add on to what you're saying, Warren, is for those folks that are the ones that, I get it. You don't want to but you're actually setting the table for the next you. That's what we're doing here right now.
That's right.
And so, yes, I get it. You're not doing it in the and I understand it, because when people start doing it to me, I'm like, stop, man. I hate that. But it is important. It is because, like you said, we need the next generation to see that. We need them to be inspired by that. Them to understand the importance of why you are here and what you do. And that's you're absolutely right. That's what we're setting the table for the future. That's what we're building. It's all about foundation and creating a foundation, and that's what character counts. We talk about pillars, and it's about foundation, and it's creating one for these kids. And so, get involved in any way you can, even if it's just as much as showing up and coming to these events and cheering.
If you're listening and you just want to be a member of Character Counts in Chaves County, we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
It's minimal. It's $25, $30. Just becoming a member, because I think equally so with the Historical Society, every penny counts.
Yeah.
And we can do great things. And mentioning the foundation, I think we'd be remiss in honoring Judge Jones, and not just him, but the many.
Yeah,
that
we'll
in
see
the
a few bow ties next
That's
week.
right. I like a bow tie Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is. But honoring him and the legacy of him and him and many that established this expectation, if you will, in the 90s. And we've never stopped. But I will say there's a bit of a shift. We lose some of our forefathers, and I would be remiss to not mention we need support. We need help. Boards dwindle. People kind of phase in and out of things.
Life happens. People get older.
This is something that should never phase out, in my opinion. And we need help. We need help, and it
So you need some young blood in there to kind of carry pick up the baton and carry it on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So please get involved. Come out. If someone wants to kind of look and see like a schedule events for next week, is there a place they can go and do all that?
Yes, and they can follow us on Facebook.
Okay.
Character Counts in
So the
Chaves
Character
County.
Counts Facebook page
Yes,
will have everything.
And there's
Maybe
been an
you
event.
need to put Chaves County on that search.
Yes.
Character, because you'll get a lot of
Chaves
character
County.
counts.
Yes, character counts, exclamation in Chaves County. Well, speak to you about honoring the badge and teacher of character. We're going to have a full house.
Usually it's a pretty packed. It's standing room only for some of those events.
Yes, and honor the badge. And again, thank you to Pioneer and Sir Tolman. So many in Church on the Move. This is a dream team right here. These are amazing organizations just helping us lift up people.
Yeah, and they'd love a few more. Come on out, reach out. We'd love to talk on you. Maybe take some of the heavy lifting off the hospitals and Sertoma and Church on the Move and Pioneer Bank here a little bit.
Thank you isn't adequate enough to you guys.
Absolutely.
It's not. We just thank you so much.
Yeah, we do. This is and I know both you guys, and this is why you're doing, because you both get it. You understand. This is bigger than the day-to-day of things. This is about securing the future. This is about showing our youth the importance of why we do the things we do. And guess what? You guys are going to be the ones that are going to have to carry this torch forward for us. And because at some point we're all going to be sitting on our porches yelling at y'all to get off our lawns, and we ain't got the ability to do this anymore.
Well, one thing with this program I think is helpful, and burnout's a real thing. The world's kind of frustrated.
Sure.
It just seems in general.
Now more than ever.
And so it's really easy for those people that give of themselves and give to their community quite a bit to kind of get burned out or feel like they're not making a difference. I think these little moments where we can step aside, sometimes it seems silly, but like a certificate, but sometimes that certificate would be the thing that's like, I was really considering retiring or leaving or whatever.
Again,
that's
I
right.
can speak firsthand as married to one of these people. Yes, I mean, she's 27 years. She's eligible to retire now, but she's trying to go longer. But the daily grind does its thing.
That
to
little
you.
bit,
of
of extra juice to kind of like, maybe I'll do this a little bit longer.
Exactly. And so when she gets that moment, it's like, even when it's the simple stuff, like because teachers, especially in younger. When you're doing elementary age, you get a lot of coffee cups and gift cards. You know what I mean? Because of the teachers' thing. So,
it's right.
And even as simple as that is, it is very appreciative. When she gets, the next thing you know, she comes home with this haul of cups and candies and everything. that does warm the cockles of the heart a little bit. It just does. And even if those small gestures do it. I don't care what anybody says. Keep doing them. People that do those things on a daily basis and all the time, keep doing them, because for every person that says that's silly, deep down they're all thinking, well, that was nice. Even that moment of just, because it's the human connection. And that's what you're talking about, Warren, is that it's just that moment of someone saying, hey, we appreciate you. Even if it's just a Hershey's kiss. You know what I mean?
Well, in the evolution of potato bar to charcuterie boxes during COVID to these chef saying, "We're doing a nice sit-down dinner."
We fought over
here."
the charcuterie box. I remember that.
And they were
She won because
good
she was
in
a
their
teacher, but I wasn't gonna lie. I was
They
picking.
took charcuterie box to next level
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah.
But this sit-down is something so special.
It
And
is.
we're so thankful.
It is. It's and again we thank Loveless and Eastern for getting involved with this year in and year out. While we got you here, like you said, recruiting, things like that. Any messages either one of you want to let the public know that we got any information, anything, jobs, anything, whatever we can do to help you get word out about something.
Sure. Jobs, I mean, we're always hiring. But
Right. I'm about to say, we
can't
beginning
find
of
enough
this conversation.
physical therapists in the community that want to work in the hospital. But, I mean, we'll have mammography up and running here pretty soon, 3D mammography. So I just want to put that out there, and bone density. So
Good deal.
It's all the women that need their mammograms, diagnostic, all that stuff. We're ready to go.
Yeah. Warren, any?
Yeah, so we just made a major investment in 4 new ultrasound machines, particularly for more echoes. Echoes is that cardiac. I know a few years ago we
see more because every time you get new equipment, they're better. You know the
it's
the
better,
technology is
quicker,
way
faster.
better. Even
Mm-hmm.
even if you buy one a year ago, they've already got better stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
The healthcare sector, it seems like every 2 years you're already outdated.
Yeah.
So they're pricey, but at the same time they're important, and it really does help our both our medical teams have.
Well, when you need
the
them, no one's
information
asking what they cost.
Yeah,
You
right.
need
right.
'em.
Exactly. But we're excited to get that. So those are up and running, and then we have several big things planned for throughout the year. You'll hear more about that coming up. We're waiting on ink on paper and things like that.
Sure.
But we're always trying to bring in. We have a new midwife who joined us just last week, Anna Lee, and so
great.
we're excited to have her on board. And then I know we have some other new talent headed our way, and so more to come in the future on that. And so we're excited for it. I think the future's bright. I think we're very lucky to have 2 great hospitals here in town providing services. And
Not many towns of this size are blessed with that kind of.
And then kind of to your point on the community events, we're already gearing up. We're working very closely with the Health Council. I know Loveless is as well about making sure we have a great event. It's in the mall this year. Planning for that's usually August. So
Yeah.
we're
right around
already
back to school time frame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's not too early to get booths for that. I'm telling you right now, the Health Council is accepting booths and all that right now.
That
Yeah,
is, absolutely.
I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Healthcare Week, though, as well, which starts Mother's Day this year.
Here in a couple
it runs
weeks.
here in a couple weeks starts Healthcare Week.
Is this when we get to salute our doctors and nurses and all that?
Anybody
or?
that works in the healththare industry.
Awesome.
So
every one of them
yeah,
deserve
we have
a
a lot of fun activities
I
planned
don't know.
at the
We got to
hospital.
bust out some more charcuterie boxes.
There we go.
We all,
You're very deserving of it.
We all gained 15 pounds that week.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot
every day.
It's the irony, isn't it? Eat healthy, oh wait, but not right this week. We're all eat what you want this week. But next week we're back to the
right
salad.
before summer. Get us all started off.
Well, it gives you an excuse to walk the pass and get out there and do your thing too. I also want to point out too that if folks are looking to volunteer, there's opportunities at both hospitals. If you're looking to volunteer your time, and I know there's many different facets at both hospitals. That if you're like we're talking about character counts, you want to give back, maybe volunteer at one of the hospitals here to help people there. Again, if people are interested, I guess literally you should probably just walk to the front desk of the hospital and say, hey, I want to do some volunteer. You're one of the volunteers. How do you do this?
Exactly. There's not a really hyper formal process out there, but we're always looking for volunteers.
Sure.
The auxiliary at Eastern has been around over 65 years. Do an incredible job. We were talking about scholarships. They give out, I think, $40,000 twice a year, and so we're getting ready to. The scholarships aren't open yet. We may want to come back and talk about that in a month.
Good deal.
But they try to focus on healthcare-related fields, and encouraging people to get into the various programs here.
So next time you need a doctor, there's one in the office. But yeah, please, that's a great. And trust me, we were talking about Healthcare Week. Those volunteers, they take a lot off some of those. They got so many fish to fry. Those volunteers really help them navigate so they can focus on the big projects while we handle some of the ancillary stuff.
And I hate to say it this way, but the volunteers, while it's very much a service for the 2 hospitals, and we both appreciate it immensely, I think they get a lot out of it as well. Because
Absolutely.
They have a place of belonging and community and social.
Everyone I've seen, it's kind of it's that they're feeding their own soul as they are helping others, and that's how it usually works. I guarantee, if you get out and volunteer, you're going to take more out of it than usually you put in. I mean, you're putting in a lot, but you're going to go home. It's especially when you have that one moment where you directly help someone that's in a situation that they felt like there wasn't a lot of options in, and you're able to navigate them through that. There's no better feeling than when you help them through that thing, and you get a lot of chances to do that by volunteering. Good deal. And, of course, put your historical side hat. They're always looking for volunteers over there. If you want to be a docent or help serve in the archives to help John and them, sort through the piles and piles of artifacts that we have, it's not in piles.
I've always thought that would be fun to challenge an individual to volunteer just at so many, a multitude of different organizations.
You'll be a jack of all trades and just show up at various places.
To kind of tell the story and experience, because we all have these needs. But you're right, when they volunteer with the objective to help, it does empower.
I feel we could turn that into like an undercover boss like TV show. The undercover volunteer, and he goes around at various places pretending to be.
So many
and they put him in ridiculous beards. Now, if you ever see Warren or Nick in weird beards or anything, they're on undercover boss. Nick's got hair now. Hi, Nick. I'm not Nick. I'm Joe. And I work in the janitorial section.
That's coming. Watch out.
Very good. But Character Counts Week is next week for a complete schedule of events. And if you want to volunteer to get more involved, I invite you to go to the Character Counts Chaves County Facebook page. There you'll see dates, times. If you need to RSVP for anything, you can find all of that there on the page. And I'm sure if you walk up to one of the hospitals, the front desk, and say, I'm sure they can get you some, put you in touch, probably back to Amy, but they'll get you in touch with the people that do that. And of course, like we said, if you're a business or organization and want to get more involved, reach out to Amy, reach out to Character Counts, and let's see,
Temple or
we can, because this is the kind of stuff that, if the community gets behind and it's been doing great for years, but like I said, it kind of needs we need some fresh faces. We need a little rekindling here of some of that. So please get involved. We need the next generation. If you're out there wanting, especially parents and things, and you're seeing this great work going on, let's do your part to spotlight and help and foster and encourage more of what you're seeing.
I love this healthy competitiveness, if you will, celebrating character. And I want to challenge Chaves County to do it in general.
Yeah.
Every business, every school, in a healthy manner. Let's celebrate character and let's see where we can take it.
We need to get some cheerleaders on either side.
Hey,
I got character.
And we've had cheerleaders and bands. I just see it as a week full of celebration. Absolutely. And any way you can do that and honor those that are impacting lives, our silent heroes, honoring it through character. We want to do that.
And even use this as a reminder, maybe, if nothing else, just make an effort to be a little nicer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Is a thing that you don't know what someone's going through when you experience their thing. And, I get it. At the moment, it feels fun to yell at someone or whatever. But at the end of the day, you usually feel like a jerkwad afterwards. If you got any kind of conscience. If you don't, maybe you got to see church on Sunday or something. I don't know.
That's a good example. How about next week we just hold that in? Just give a smile. Let's just keep that moment of silence can respect.
Not all of us are given the same deck of cards to start the poker game in, man. And we're all at different places and different experiences and different life, and we're humans. Two people can watch the exact same thing. You get two different meanings out of it. That's just humans. Remember that next week.
That's right.
All the time.
Thank the county for the support. And I haven't said a name that I think behind every man is a great woman. And thank you, Mrs. Fuller. Mrs. Tim Fuller.
When she's not keeping the county straight at the clerk's office, she's keeping Tim straight at the house, right? She kind of has a job of always keeping people in line. I mean, as a clerk, that's kind of what, you know what I mean?
And
that's not right. No,
she's a fine example of character. Beautiful smile.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she'll be busy here next year. They're always busy, but election years.
That's right.
Maybe this is a downtime. I don't know how that works, the clerk. Like if it's like when it's not election day.
If it's like all of us here, is there ever a downtime?
They're all in a room playing. They're all in a room playing Uno. That's what they're doing. Little agencies. I'm just kidding. But is there anything you guys want to cover we didn't before we let you get on to stomping out fires? I'm sure you got a bunch.
No, I really appreciate the opportunity
yes.
to kind of echo this one program, and this program does an amazing job. Again, very proud to be a part of this, and we've been for years. Talk about resilience, one of the pillars there. During COVID, a lot of things fell away, and this is one that didn't. And we it was never as impactful. The security boards were great and very creative. Right. It's just even during peak COVID, we still did it. This is something that was important as a community. We said we're going to.
I would argue it even got a bigger spotlight because of the drive-through.
Uniquely, it did.
Like anybody was hanging out at the Wool Bowl around that time, like what's going on with traffic around here?
Oh yeah, we stopped traffic around Church on the Move, and it was a lot. I will never forget that line, that mile-long line that Tim always said.
I was so impressed.
It's always
I was
a hot
so,
date, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But to me, that was so cool. Like, I'm like, man, I wish we just had a drone and blow this and put it on because that's showing support. When you got, I don't know, hundreds of vehicles sitting out there doing this.
We did.
Amazing. So let's do more of that next week, shall we? Let's pack every room. Let's make it sound like a rock concert every time these teachers and these first responders are getting their awards next week, and show them some love and get more involved by going and do character counts. Thank you again, guys. For coming in and joining us. Appreciate that. I know you guys have a busy schedule. And Brian, good job keeping Warren.
Thank you, Brian.
There's 3 reminders, but I'm here.
and of course, obviously, what you guys do day in and day out, helping folks in this community and being part. And if the healthcare world is the healthcare world. It is what it is. But we are blessed in this community to have not one but 2 excellent hospitals in a town that, quite frankly, is not big enough to handle. You know what I mean? There's plenty of business, but there's no town of 50,000 with not one but 2 hospitals. You know, if you want 2 hospitals, you got to move to Lubbock or Oliver. And that's just how it works. So we're very blessed. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
And Amy, thank you for everything
it's a
you guys
pleasure.
do, and with not only character counts, but with the historical side, with all the other. Because Amy kind of blends it all together. You know, it's historical side, but then again, there's Youth Challenge helping out with character counts things, with the, with the blood services stuff. I mean, there's always a tie. So, good deal. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for having
don't
us.
work too hard and go eat a burrito.
Happy day. Happy day.
7:55. Let's pause for news and a quick commercial break.
With your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. The Artesia City Council has approved acceptance of a donation of $546,000. The funding will be used for the police department to buy new barriers. These barriers will help with crowd control at large events. The donation comes from the Greater Artesia Foundation. The new barrier system will replace the police department's current fencing that is used. The Daily Press also reports that Police Chief Kirk Roberts reported the department is in the process of obtaining new vehicle dash cameras, body cameras, and virtual reality equipment and drones. Local health officials are reporting a new case of measles, and it's here in Eddy County. The latest case in an unvaccinated adult. This brings the total number of infections in New Mexico to 66. State Health Communications Director Robert Knott continued to urge vaccination, especially in children, as the outbreak in West Texas continues to grow. The majority of the measles cases in New Mexico have been in Lee County. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up with some baseball. We've got a game today, Roswell against Clovis. Roswell 9-14 overall. Clovis is 11-11. Both teams, though, are 1-3 in district play. Roswell's last game was a 7-1 loss against Carlsbad on Friday. And then Roswell, after today's game, will close out the regular season at Clovis this Friday. Meanwhile, Goddard on Saturday took a pair from Portales. First game was 11-0. Sophomores Jose Porras and Jaden Herrera starred in that game. Jose was 3 for 4, a double and 3 RBIs. Jaden 3 for 5 with a double. In the second game, Goddard beats Portales 5-2. Cameron Brown 3 for 3 with a double, 3 ribbies. Carmelo Ortega, sophomore, with 4 innings pitched and 8 strikeouts. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Stocks will open today after a pretty normal day on Wall Street. For a change yesterday, stock averages closed slightly higher to little changed. More for traditional reasons rather than because of tariffs. Investment managers were just waiting for earnings reports this week from widely held tech companies, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, etc. among the so-called magnificent Magnificent Seven stocks. Wall Street's still waiting for progress on tariffs, though, too. The Wall Street Journal reports the White House has developed a way to streamline tariff negotiations, but they may not be finalized till sometime this summer. Tax cuts that Republicans want to extend by Memorial Day may be delayed or stopped because some Republicans want more spending cuts to pay for the tax cuts, and some of both parties insist that those caps on state and local tax deductions be removed. Others say, well, just make up for the tax deduction limits with tax cuts. With people spending less, airlines are not only dropping flights but lowering some fares. And Sensient Technologies in Wisconsin is already working on using natural substances from carrots and other plants to replace artificial dyes in foods. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
One Israel Fund fulfills over 200 unique projects each year, filling the gaps in medical, educational, recreational, communal, and preventative security necessities so families can live with strength, dignity, and a little more peace. For professionals, they build meaning and help create a strong future. To learn more and donate, go to biblicalheartland.org. biblicalheartland.org.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the third generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
The White House insists the economy is growing stronger 100 days into President Trump's second term.
The stock market is down and consumer confidence has dropped, but Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president is delivering on his promise to lower prices.
Prices across the board for everyday goods have seen declines since this president was inaugurated.
As for market uncertainty, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that's good for Donald Trump's negotiations.
He is more concerned about getting the best possible trade deals.
And Bessent promises more price relief when Congress passes a tax cuts bill. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The Conference Board reports its closely watched Consumer Confidence Index has fallen to a reading of 86 this month. That's almost a 5-year low going back to the COVID days, and it is the 5th straight monthly decline in that index. What caused one of Europe's most disruptive power outages in recent memory? That is the question, but as of now, there's no answer. Electricity has been restored to the vast majority of utility customers in Spain and Portugal. The building in Chatham, Illinois was crowded with kids. They were there for an after-school program when all of a sudden
a vehicle drove into the east side of the building. The vehicle struck multiple persons outside of the building before continuing through the building and exiting out on the west side of the structure.
Chatham Deputy Police Chief Scott Tarter telling WICS-TV that 4 people ranging in age from 4 to 18 years were killed in a horrific incident that was not targeted, although it does remain the subject of an ongoing police investigation. And watching Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 276 points, the NASDAQ trading 51 points higher, the S&P better by 20. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Elon Musk's Starlink internet service getting some competition from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
The first 27 Amazon satellites of more than 3,000 planned were launched into orbit from Florida. By comparison, Starlink already has more than double that number, now providing internet service to millions of customers. They include individuals, businesses, and governments. Among them, for now, Ukraine during the long war following Russia's invasion.
And that's the BBC's Lily Jamali. Authorities in Indian-controlled Kashmir have temporarily shuttered more than half of the tourist resorts in the scenic Himalayan region following a deadly attack on tourists. Officials say the decision to shut 48 of the 87 government-authorized resorts was a precautionary safety measure. The decision comes a week after gunmen killed 26 people, most of them Indian tourists. India describes the massacre as a terror attack. Townhall.com. A couple of Columbia University janitors say they were assaulted by anti-Israel protesters on campus, and they've filed a lawsuit. We hear more about that from correspondent Tasha Stevens.
The two men are suing more than 40 pro-Hamas protesters from last April's Hamilton Hall riot. Mario Torres and Lester Wilson say they were threatened, pummeled, and held hostage by pro-Hamas rioters during a regular overnight shift. Their lawsuit reveals hand-drawn maps used to identify locations of heavy equipment that were used to block doors and windows of the historic building. The janitors say rioters who blocked their attempts to leave Hamilton Hall were distributing bike locks, rope, zip ties, food, cots, and other supplies to carry out the raid. They say the experience triggered PTSD, which has left them unable to return to work. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The Dow is up 225 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres infiernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Ah, yes.
Hope your Tuesday's going swell.
Indeed.
Got another day before hockey.
Bit of a wind whip. Yeah, you guys are up 4-3 or 3-1?
3-1. 3-1. Yeah, one more and we're done. One more win.
One and done.
They play tomorrow night. That'll be game. It's weird. They took 2 nights off in between because they played Sunday, and now they took Monday off, Tuesday off. Usually it's one day between games, but for some reason they went 2.
It's interesting.
And so they play on Wednesday.
Needed a little, an extra day. Mental health day, we'll call it.
Right. It's back in Washington. The series is back in Washington.
I had a very interesting fact this morning on my random facts. Did you know that the Stanley Cup can hold 23 beers?
Okay.
23 standard
12-ounce?
beers, 12-ounce beers, or 2,000 Monopoly hotels.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sure people tried these theories. That's the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Someone actually tested
They
these
had to have.
Yeah.
At different points in time, someone said, see how many Monopoly houses we can put in.
Yeah.
Because I like to imagine, though, that it was a research facility, and they were doing it meticulously, like stacking them Tetris-like so that they could have the most space, use.
I wish it was that technical.
No, it was
I'm going to take a stab.
somebody who just drank 23 beers out of a Stanley Cup.
But I'm going to throw one the hotel thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say 90%. I have no idea, and I don't even know if we can find out.
Sure.
But I'm 90% willing to bet a goaltender did it.
Yeah?
Because goalies are crazy, and they do weird stuff like this.
Okay.
Like if you see goalies, like when they throw the bucket of pucks out there at games and stuff, goalies are the guys that like to stack the pucks in these perfect circles and they're just goalies are nutty people, and they are the ones that are going to see how many Monopoly hotels you can fit into a stand. That's the id of those.
So let me see if I understand. Those goaltenders are essentially the drummers of the hockey team.
Well, they're yes, because they're like the most important.
I'm sorry.
piece.
This says roughly 2,000 to 3,016 Monopoly hotels, depending upon the allowance for airspace.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, so yeah, that's
See,
totally.
this throws off the entire thing I read this morning because this said 23, and this here says Mass Live reports the Stanley Cup can hold 14 cans of beer.
See, goalie.
Had to be a goalie. This is sportingnews.com. What can you fit in the Stanley Cup? Oh, this will be a delightful article. Let's see if I can. One bag of chips hold 10 ounces, so you could theoretically pour 23.7 bags of chips into the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
It'll hold, let's see, roughly 166 wings.
Bone in?
Bone in, yes. I'm guessing traditional
Drummies
wings.
or flats or both.
It'll hold a wedding cake that's 3 inches deep, 1 inch wide, and 2 inches long, enough to feed 82.8 people, or enough Dippin' Dots, about 67 containers of Dippin' Dots. That's what it'll hold. So,
what a waste.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
Just eat ice cream.
You know what? How about this? Peanut M&Ms. 2,701 peanut M&Ms.
And see, the number's going to be different because they are in between. Oh, you said peanut. I was thinking peanut butter.
No,
I was saying peanut butter are slightly smaller. Peanut M&Ms are bigger.
Yeah, peanut M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms are like just under.
The biggest
peanut
of the
size.
bunch are the almonds.
Almonds, yeah. Regular M&Ms, 5,185. So there you go. And then it wraps up with Monopoly hotels. I just love the fact that there had to be some players after 2 or 3 nights of just debaucherous partying. Like, what are we going to do with this?
Well, if you don't know, the way the Stanley Cup works is that when a team wins it, they got the cup. There's one cup. It's not like a Super Bowl trophy where everybody gets a trophy. There's one cup. You get it, and there's after a certain amount of time, it goes back to the thing. But when your team wins the Stanley Cup, every player on the team gets the cup for like 2 days or 3 days or whatever it is. And they literally can do whatever they want with it. They take it home to families. They show it off. They do tours with it. I mean, there's all kinds of stories of that thing in pools, falling out of the back of cars. There's just so many different crazy stories.
Having to get it through TSA.
What the Stanley Cup has done. And matter of fact, with the playoffs coming out, wait till we get to the final round and we get to that night where, that's probably my guess. Let me put that on just real quick. I got to finish my story though. So real quick, there's just been these various stories of the Stanley Cup, but here in a couple weeks when we get to the final round, it's awesome because when you get to those nights when it could be the night that they win the cup,
right?
They have this Stanley Cup team and these guys in tuxedos with white gloves, and there's a special case with the cup in it, and they put it out, and it's like, oh, got to put it back in. It wasn't won the cup tonight, and because literally as soon as the team wins the cup, they're skating around the rink with it.
Right.
They pick it up, and usually the captain or whatever gets the usually the honor of skating first with the cup.
I like that the future debauchery that will be whatever happens to the Stanley Cup is preceded by white glove treatment.
Oh, yeah, it gets white glove
nice.
treatment and everything else.
That's just nice.
John Hauser is on the phone, so let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, John Hauser will join us with Eastern New Mexico University, talking about One Eastern Day, which is happening Thursday on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University here in Roswell. So we'll talk with John here on the other side of the break. Don't go away.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new low, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires at month's end.
The Eastern New Mexico University System is proud to present One Eastern Day, sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank on Thursday, May 1st from 4 to 9 p.m. on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Come join ENMU for a family fun night featuring food trucks, inflatables, info booths, and live music by Roswell's own Grupo Maldad from 7 to 9 p.m. Bring out the whole family May 1st to ENMU Roswell and join us for One Eastern Day. Visit roswell.enmu.edu for more information. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, John Hauser back with us. Good morning, John. How you doing today?
Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Doing good. A little breezy, but sun's shining, so no complaints here. So
yeah, well, we got that cold front that came in up here in Portales, so we're sitting at like 53 right now. I was like, what is this? It's almost May 1st. It's supposed to be like heating up to 100 here soon. So.
Oh, I know.
But hey, we'll take the colder day today, so that's fine.
That's true. Again, did y'all? I know over the weekend we were getting the dust storms and the tornado warnings. That Saturday, I know some of those tornadoes were kind of heading towards the direction of Portales Clovis area. Did y'all get any of that stuff?
Nah, they go around us usually. We're in a little valley up here,
okay.
So it's kind of weird. So you come into Elida, they're at 4,200 feet. We're at 4,000, and then you go back up to Clovis at 4,200. So usually likes to blow around us and then go into Texas, and we wave at it as it explodes east. Is usually what we do. But yeah, I saw Reed Timmer down there chasing tornadoes around Roswell.
Oh yeah,
that was a lot of fun to watch over the weekend. So when he gets out there in his Dominator 3 running around and heading towards Caprock there, I was like, oh, people in Roswell are having some fun today. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, knocking on wood, doing our rain dances, crossing our fingers. None of that will be in store for us here on Thursday. So.
Right, yeah. Thursday is looking good, and that's why we want to encourage everybody to come out to ENMU Roswell on Thursday between 4 and 9. We got our first ever One Eastern Day celebration going on there on campus.
Yeah, this will be kind of like a big party.
Family fun. Yeah, family fun entertainment for everybody. So if you're looking for something to do, you're like, hey, I want to go get something to eat on Thursday night. We're going to have food trucks there. You know, we're going to have live music. Roswell's own Grupo Maldad is going to be putting on a free concert there. We're going to have bouncy houses, displays from, JP Stone Bank's going to be out there handing out, I think she said, like 1,000 glow sticks.
Oh, wow.
They got for kids. We're going to have displays set up from like the welding program at Roswell. We're going to have interactive stuff for people to do from our campus up here in Portales. It's going to be down there in full force. We're going to have stuff from ENMU Riadoso as well there. So it's going to be a great event. Talking with Martha Staub, the marketing director there at ENMU Roswell, she told me that she's got a helicopter coming in. She's got the SWAT team coming out for kids to take a look at. Fire trucks are going to be there. It's going to be a whole celebration there between Portales, Riadoso, and Roswell. And of course, Roswell is going to be heavily represented there since we are coming to the campus.
Sure,
and
it's our hometown.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun, and that's why we're encouraging everybody to come out. It's a free event. I mean, you come out, throw the kids in some bouncy houses, come get some free stuff, check out everything that Eastern New Mexico University has to offer between all three of our campuses. And bring your dancing shoes. His Grupo Maldad is going to be performing at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Free concert right there. It's right by the administration building and the bookstore there.
Okay, so right in the heart of the campus
Success Center. So, yeah, right at the heart. It's the diamond area right in front of the admin building, so you can park behind the bookstore. There's plenty of parking, at the Roswell campus, and people can just walk over and have a good time. It's going to be something that people have never seen at the ENMU Roswell campus before. So, and it's really an event where we're embracing the community of Roswell and the surrounding communities of Artesia and places like that to say, hey, come on out and have a good time on Thursday night out there from 4 to 9. We also have the Roswell High School Guitar Club coming out and performing from 4:30 to about 5:45 as well.
Cool.
So if you got students that are in that, or if you got friends in that, come on out, listen to them, grab a bite to eat. We're going to have both our president, Dr. Johnson here, and Dr. Powell, who's the president of the ENMU Roswell, speaking and welcoming everybody. And 7 o'clock will be right around 7, we'll start the concert. And it'll be a fun night, and knock on wood, the weather's looking really good. So one of those rare, perfect spring days without a lot of wind or thunderstorms. And so hopefully we get blessed that day and everything, that people come out and have a good time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's and it'll be this Thursday, May 1st.
Yep.
Everything kicks off at 4 p.m. The event will wrap up about 9. The concert will probably be the kind of the ending when that ends. That'll probably kind of be kind of the end of the evening.
Yeah,
there.
that'll wrap it up.
But there's going to be like you said, tons of fun. Think of it as like a big kind of like carnival with live music and, like you said, the different. And yes, we're come out and enjoy the food and the kids playing and I ain't gonna lie, there's gonna be as many adults hanging out around those fire trucks and helicopter as kids are.
Yeah, it's a big community-wide celebration.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
We've done a similar type event up here in Portales.
Uh-oh, we lost John there. All right, let me see if I can get him up. Let's do this. Let me pause for news. And then I'm going to bring John back up here. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council has approved acceptance of a donation of $546,000. The funding will be used for the police department to buy new barriers. These barriers will help with crowd control at large events. The donation comes from the Greater Artesia Foundation. The new barrier system will replace the police department's current fencing that is used. The Daily Press also reports that Police Chief Kirk Roberts reported the department is in the process of obtaining new vehicle dash cameras, body cameras, and virtual reality equipment and drones. Local health officials are reporting a new case of measles, and it's here in Eddy County. The latest case in an unvaccinated adult. This brings the total number of infections in New Mexico to 66. State Health Communications Director Robert Knott continued to urge vaccination, especially in children, as the outbreak in West Texas continues to grow. The majority of the measles cases in New Mexico have been in Lee County. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
And good morning. It is 9:22. We lost John phone connection there, but I think we got John back up. Are you back there? Can you hear me, John?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, technology's great when it works, but sometimes it does that.
Yes, sir.
But if you're just tuning in, John Hauser with Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, inviting everyone out to One Eastern Day, which is this Thursday, May 1st, on the campus of ENMUR here in Roswell, and it'll be beginning at 4 p.m., going till about 9. It's a full evening of fun with lots of food, lots of games and booths, inflatables and stuff for the kids, live music, including the highlight of the night, which will be Grupo Maldad doing their concert, all free. Only thing we need to bring is yourself and your friends and family, and ready for a good time. So that's kind of what we've been talking about here. So.
Yeah, and if you want to get dinner there, you can buy dinner there. We'll have several food trucks around the area out there as well.
Yeah.
And we're going to have ENMU Portales is bringing down about 15 to 20 departments. That's going to showcase everything we offer up here. Roswell's going to have some giant displays out there as well for people to check out the welding program or the aeronautical program, stuff like that. So it's going to be a great event for everybody. So,
there is opportunities because obviously Eastern's putting this on to showcase the entire Eastern New Mexico campus. And this is something I know. Of course, we had our One Eastern meeting event a month or so ago here in Roswell, and this is kind of more of that, just exposing folks to saying, look, Eastern New Mexico University is more than just the Roswell campus, or more than just the Portales campus, or more than just the Ruidoso campus. It's all of that. And so when you come out on Thursday, and if you are looking to pursue degree plans and things like that, you can learn more about really how you could get your bachelor's. You could go through the whole process right in the Eastern New Mexico University umbrella here, and that's where you can learn about the different ways to do all that and all of that too. So if you want more than food and games and music, you can definitely learn a lot about the different programs, different opportunities. Like you said, if you're looking for your niche, like you want to learn more about, he's like, hey, I've always wanted to learn about welding or whatever. They're going to have demos and programs so you can kind of see what that's about and see maybe that's the direction you want to take your path in. But you can kind of do some research while you're out there too. So when you're done in between dances and everything, check that out.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So it's not gonna be like, oh, hey, come if you want to go to college. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be informative for people to showcase. Eastern New Mexico University's been in Portales 90 years. ENMU Roswell's been there 66 years now. It's a great partnership between these two campuses, and then ENMU Ruidoso's been there since '91. So we've had a great relationship with the eastern part of the state. That's why our football games are broadcast on your station there during the fall, because there's so many kids that come up from Roswell and Artesia and the surrounding communities to go to school here and play sports here. So it's been a great partnership, and this is our way of kind of saying thank you to the Roswell and surrounding communities for embracing our university so much over the last 90 plus years. And I mean, there's been thousands and upon thousands of students that have come to each of our campuses and have graduated and gone into great success. And this is our way of saying thank you. And that's why we want to invite everybody to come out, learn about our campuses, get the kids out, come dance, come have a good time.
Yeah.
That's what this whole event is going to be about, is a thank you to the Roswell community for being a huge supporter of Eastern New Mexico University and our system. And have a fun night, with us as we celebrate, One Eastern Day. And hey, if you haven't heard Grupo Maldad, man, I mean, they played at up here last year for my church's fiesta. They are awesome.
They have they got quite a
really
following.
Looking forward to.
I imagine.
I'm really looking forward to them.
All of the Grupo Maldad fans out there, I imagine we can fill up the campus lawns just with those alone. So come on out and. For a free concert with your favorite band tonight.
Shoes. Yeah. On Thursday night, it's a free concert. You don't have to pay anything. You can come out and just enjoy the night with us. They'll be starting about 6:45, 7 o'clock, and be rolling for an hour and a half, 2 hours, playing their hits, and it'll be a fun night for everybody. And it's free. It's on the campus of EMU Roswell on this Thursday, and we want to see as many people as possible out to celebrate, everything Eastern New Mexico University there in Roswell.
Absolutely, and here's another thing, and parents will know this one. Bring the kids. There's going to be plenty of things for them to run around and do. So when they get home, they're passed right out, go to bed. You have a quiet evening after all said and done.
Yeah. Come get him a burger at one of the food trucks or a taco, and then you can feed him dinner, and then you can watch him jump in a bouncy house and get some glow sticks from JP Stone Bank and run around, and then they'll head home and they'll fall right asleep
That's
for
right.
you.
Nice,
so
quiet
we'll make sure we tire them out for you that night. Let us handle that for you, and come on out. It'll be a good time. Weather's supposed to be great on Thursday, and we want to celebrate everything Eastern out there on the Roswell campus.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's all about the fun that night. But if you do want some information or if you want to learn more, there will be opportunities for that. So don't worry about that too. I would even maybe if you're not on the campus very often, use it as an opportunity to check the campus out too. Walk around, take it. There's a lot of, especially with the summer coming up and the pool and the gym, and they do a lot of summer activities and things too. So even if you're not necessarily looking for a degree or a college education at the moment, but you want things for your family to do, Eastern New Mexico University does have a lot of great opportunities for your family that aren't necessarily accredited college hours either. So learn a little bit about that stuff too while you're out there.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of information on their summer programs there. And there's a lot if people want to come up to Portales too, with our athletic programs, we got summer camps going on as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There'll be opportunities to ask questions and learn about all the different programs. We have it all three of our campuses during the summertime for kids, and it's a great opportunity. We want to embrace. We are the regional university for Eastern New Mexico, and that's why we want to embrace Roswell with this one Eastern Day on Thursday.
Yeah, so come on out, bring dress for fun. No, wear your shorts and your dress, summer outfits, or hopefully the weather should be warm enough for all that, and come and just come out in the grass and hang out with a bunch of great people and have some fun, and of course great music, Grupo Maldad, and like you said, Roswell Guitar Group. There's a bunch of great music and entertainment throughout the night. So from 4 to 9, you're going to be entertained. So, yeah.
Yep. So plan on coming out to ENMU Roswell on Thursday at 4 o'clock or anytime between 4 and 9, and join us and have a good time. Absolutely.
If anybody has questions or wants more information, I know you can go to either Eastern's the enmu.edu or enmu.roswell.enmu, or any of those websites will give you more information.
Yeah, go to Roswell. Yeah, roswell.enmu.edu.
Yeah.
/Eastern-Day-2025 is what they have.
Okay.
Or if you want to call the Roswell campus, if you have questions, that's probably the best way to reach out. But just plan on coming out. If you search One Eastern Day online too, it'll pop up in the Google search.
Yeah.
But like I said, and we got it out on all our Facebook and social media pages as well with information. So we encourage everybody to check it out and come out and have a good time.
Absolutely, man. And it's all starting, again, 4 p.m. this Thursday, May 1st, on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. It's kind of right in the main heart of the campus. You could literally park at any of the main parking lots right there, and it's a short walk right into the campus park there. So can't miss it. So good deal. John, is there anything we missed? Anything you wanted to cover that we spaced on?
No, I just hope to see you out there too as well. So
absolutely.
And bring the whole family. And like I said, it's we're embracing Roswell. We want everybody to come out. Grupo Maldad performing a free concert. So just come out on Thursday night. It'll be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, John, appreciate the visit, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. As there's always stuff on right after this. There'll be more things on the horizon. So
yes, sir.
Good deal.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see everybody on Thursday night.
All right. Thank you, John. Take care, and put some rocks in your pockets as that wind picks up.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that was John Hauser with Eastern New Mexico University, the Portales campus. And, yes, want to invite everyone out to the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus this Thursday evening from 4 to 9 p.m. for One Eastern Day Roswell, big party fun event. Come out for live music, outdoor games, the bounce houses, inflatables. They're going to have, like, fire trucks and the helicopter out there. And, of course, free concert with Grupo Maldad as well. That's going to begin about 7, he said. But 4 to 9 this Thursday, May 1st, on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. All right, let's do this. Let's pause for news, and your Hannity update, quick break as well, and then we'll come back and chit-chat some more. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council has approved acceptance of a donation of $546,000. The funding will be used for the police department to buy new barriers. These barriers will help with crowd control at large events. The donation comes from the Greater Artesia Foundation. The new barrier system will replace the police department's current fencing that is used. The Daily Press also reports that Police Chief Kirk Roberts reported the department is in the process of obtaining new vehicle dash cameras, body cameras, and virtual reality equipment and drones. Local health officials are reporting a new case of measles, and it's here in Eddy County. The latest case in an unvaccinated adult. This brings the total number of infections in New Mexico to 66. State Health Communications Director Robert Knott continued to urge vaccination, especially in children, as the outbreak in West Texas continues to grow. The majority of the measles cases in New Mexico have been in Lee County. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The damage was done under Biden and under Obama and Biden. Trump inherited this mess, just like he's inheriting the mess in the Middle East on October 7th and inheriting the mess of the Iranians now being filthy rich because Joe Biden turned a blind eye to the sanctions that Trump had in place that were bankrupting them. And as a result, they were able to foment more terror in the region and help plot, plan, and scheme what happened on October 7, 23, and fund the Houthi rebels, and then fire their own ballistic missiles into Israel. That's all. This all lies at the feet of the failure, the mess, the disaster. That was Joe Biden's presidency.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, you exhausted every day? Maybe you have the 3 p.m. crash or struggling with memory issues, having a hard time focusing. You have to stop and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. I never run out of energy, and I'm fully focused. Strong Cell. It's a revolutionary supplement that has truly changed my life. I use it every single day. It gives you natural energy, helps me stay focused all day long, and just makes me feel better overall. Whether you're a working mom or dad or homeschooling your kids or some of our loyal men and women behind the wheel across the country, try Strong Cell. It'll change your life. Linda uses it as well.
I use it every single day. I have my kids using it, my parents using it, my in-laws using it, my friends using it, and I am telling you, it is immediate. It is one of the only ways you can get NADH on the market, and it works.
Go to HannityStrong.com. Use promo code Hannity. You get a special 20% off any order. Once again, HannityStrong.com, and Strong Cell believes in their products so much you get a 60-day no-risk policy. Invest in your health. I did it. It changed my life.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up with some baseball. We've got a game today, Roswell against Clovis. Roswell 9-14 overall. Clovis is 11-11. Both teams, though, are 1-3 in district play. Roswell's last game was a 7-1 loss against Carlsbad on Friday. And then Roswell, after today's game, will close out the regular season at Clovis this Friday. Meanwhile, Goddard on Saturday took a pair from Portales. First game was 11-0. Sophomores Jose Porras and Jaden Herrera starred in that game. Jose was 3 for 4, a double and 3 RBIs. Jaden 3 for 5 with a double in the second game. Goddard beats Portales 5-2. Cameron Brown 3 for 3 with a double, 3 ribbies. Carmelo Ortega, sophomore, with 4 innings pitched and 8 strikeouts. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We should have sunshine across the entire area today. 83 for the high in Roswell, 89 at Carlsbad, and 86 at Artesia. And then tonight we have a fast-moving cold front headed through. Slim chance of a shower or two. We'll be down in the 50s on the low. We'll be back sunshine on Wednesday, and our afternoon highs slightly cooler, staying around 80 and a little windy. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. UPS announcing 20,000 job cuts this year, citing a decline in Amazon-related shipping volume. While reporting strong first-quarter financial results, General Motors says vehicle tariffs are prompting it to reassess its previous forecast for the rest of the year. There is speculation that President Trump at his rally this evening in Michigan will announce some tariff relief for the automakers. They've been appealing to the White House for a helping hand. Soft drink giant Coca-Cola has topped expectations for its first quarter and is sticking with its previous 2025 financial guidance, calling the impact of tariffs manageable. Amazon's first internet satellites are in orbit, 27 of them. The first of a planned 3,200 were sent aloft from Florida yesterday. This is some competition for Elon Musk's Starlink venture. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
Closing in on at 9:40. Do want to, what we're going to do, we got a few minutes here before the show, so I got another interview I'm going to play for you. Last week we had Don Weld join us. He joins us a lot, but he was wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat last week, and so we had a great conversation with him just talking about, I know it's not till the fall here, but they do have their walk to end Alzheimer's coming up. Now is the time to start putting teams together and start raising money and all that. So we had a conversation with Don talking a little bit about that. So I was going to play that for you now. Here is Don Weld with the Alzheimer's Association. Enjoy. And good morning. It is 8:21, and joining us in studio this morning, today wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat, Don Weld back with us, technically shirt. But good morning. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing great, Mark. How you doing?
Doing good. Of course, most people, when we think Alzheimer's Association, obviously the big event that happens here every year, it'll be in the fall, is the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And, of course, we're going to be gearing up for another big one here in this year.
Yep.
But I know October, that time frame, November seems a little far in the distance right now. However, now is the time to start putting teams together, start
That's right.
getting raising the money and all that.
Get out there and get the money going.
Yeah.
And we do have a little bit of a change. I think last time I said we were going to meet over here on Main Street.
Yes.
However, that has changed.
Okay.
It's still November 1st.
Okay.
That Saturday. But it's going to be out at Cielo Grande.
Cielo Grande there, okay.
The Decay.
Rusty K Soccer Complex.
There you go. That's the name.
You know, the Walk for Hope event, which is the Chaves County Cancer Fund's annual event, that seems like their traditional spot because they have the little track out there. Just kind of probably work nicely
and
for you guys.
Yeah.
And, they did the overnight thing where they'd start in the evening and then they'd walk. Usually it was a Friday night and then they'd walk overnight into Saturday and end it Saturday morning kind of thing. Did it out probably on the exact same track and everything that you guys are going to be doing it on. So it's great that y'all are bringing that out there for that. That's kind of, when I think of that, I kind of reminds me of the what they do over there for the Chaves County Cancer.
I guess that's what the decision was, is that
it's a good spot.
We have a much better.
Well, safety-wise, I mean, there's obviously not traffic or anything to worry about out there. And
much less traffic anyway, except for the soccer people.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's right. We can share.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on over and walk around when you're done.
There you go. Yeah. or come walk and then go play your game. Yeah,
right.
Warm up.
So everything will be out there at Cielo Grande this year.
Correct.
Including like the Survivor's Garden, all the stuff that's kind of part of the tradition that is the walk.
All the flower garden, everything.
Yeah.
We'll have the whole thing all set up. We did it there, what was it, 3-4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more than that. God, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
This is Alzheimer's, isn't it? Yeah.
when you got a lot of hats, you tend to forget which one you're wearing.
But
Sometimes.
it has been a while. But we've been out there before, and it was really very good.
It's a good location. Yes, it is. The only drawback is because you don't get the public visual like you do out on the courthouse lawn.
We just
not as much traffic going around Cielo Grande area.
No, that's right. We'll just have to talk it up more. And tell people, come on out.
But it'll be that November 1st, right after the Halloween there, so you can come and it's really that's the fun day, the celebration day, the day. I mean, it runs the gamut because we honor those that we've lost to Alzheimer's. We support and cheer on those that are fighting and the families that are dealing. I mean, all of that's going on, but it's kind of the party day, whereas the real work is leading up to raising the money. As you put your teams together, we're trying to get, if you can get each like $500 each team to raise up, that's something like that.
That's what we're looking for.
Of course, we'd love to, more the merrier, but, we'd like to at least get you that if you can get that per team. And the cool thing is, we've got all kinds of support vehicles online and things to the Alzheimer's Association. So once you get your team together and need help spreading the word, getting donations, whether it's online or, in your neighborhoods, they can help you do all that kind of stuff too. So.
Just come, give us a call or whatever. There is a hotline for Alzheimer's, 24-hour hotline.
Oh, is there? Okay.
That 800 number.
Okay.
It's out there in the other room.
Okay. Get it to me and I'll give it for you.
You got cards out there. Yeah.
Oh, very good. We'll get it to you.
So, you can call that one. And you always can go on to alz.org and get information. That will have phone numbers on there, too.
Okay.
So if you need help, just...
And that's the other thing, too, is, we talk about the Alzheimer's Association here. And yes, part of it's raising money so we can someday, have our first...
White flower,
which is our first winner, basically, who is on the remission or curing of Alzheimer's.
Has made it through. They had Alzheimer's and we got them cured.
We're reversing the signs. We're curing them as opposed to.
That's what we want to do.
And so we're very close. I mean, if you look in the terms of research and things, I mean, yes, there's still a lot we don't know about dementia and Alzheimer's, but compared to 20, 30 years ago, there is put it this way. If you were diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, one of these life-ending diseases, 20 years ago, your quality of length of life after diagnosis was very minimal. Now, folks are living years with quality life.
Yes.
Before they're starting to see the dementia signs. The serious stuff.
Right.
And that's all through these walks and through medicine and research.
That's right.
And they are very close to whether we have comes in a vaccine form, or it's preventative, or once you have it, reversing. I mean, they're very close to that kind of stuff right now.
We're working on it.
Yeah. So I'm serious. A couple more of these walks might be the money to push us over to get that research finally done, and we can actually say, you know what? We can start treating and reversing permanently the signs that are Alzheimer's and dementia.
And even then, we're still going to need more funds to keep that going.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Once you hit that line, you gotta. It's like the Wright brothers. Okay, we proved we got a plane. Now what?
Now what do we do? Now we build TWA and some of those things.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where we're at. So please, this is why you putting these teams together and walking around Cielo Grande on November 1st and supporting this way. Trust me, you're putting one more wheel in the cog to start saving more lives here.
That's right.
So hopefully the next generation of dementia and Alzheimer's patients are the ones that are getting cured.
That's right. Or prevented.
Or prevented altogether.
We may reach that. Well, that's what the real goal is, to prevent it.
And this is a tricky one because, unlike other diseases, you can kind of say, okay, there's family history is definitely a factor, or diet or whatever, lifestyle. There's always triggers on what, but Alzheimer's, there is no consistency on any of that.
Nothing really definite.
It could be family history, it could be lifestyle, it could be a cocktail of both. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for there isn't a recipe for Alzheimer's. It can happen anyway, or it's like smoking. You smoke enough, you're eventually going to get cancer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that. Alzheimer's doesn't have that. It could be all family stuff. It could be nothing to do with it. It could be, maybe you're exposed to a bunch of stuff in the environment that causes. I mean,
who knows?
It's a crapshoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so. And in my wife's case, that was very much the case. There were some things and incidences in her life that could have contributed,
but there's no proof definitively one way or another.
Of it. And also, she was the first one in her family, and she wasn't the oldest, but she was the first one in her family to be diagnosed with an Alzheimer's.
Interesting. So I mean, that's what we're dealing with. There's
right.
no,
we
and so
know.
So without a path to follow, it makes it hard to find the cure, and
yes,
so that's
does.
why this one's been trickier than others. And
that's
things.
right.
So these walks do help. They do. This is how the research has been. The progress that has been made. It's because of these walks and the money raised to fund research for all.
Right.
So that's what we're continuing to do.
The Alzheimer's, like so many diseases, I believe that we've had Alzheimer's around, like cancer, like heart disease, and stuff, for generations, years and years.
Just
way
didn't
back.
diagnose it or understand
We
what
just
it was.
didn't know it.
Yeah.
We just didn't know what it was.
Back in the day, they probably
they shut them up,
or they called it was some kind of other thing or something. Kind of like TB. They know how to deal with it, so they just ship you to driver climates and let you die. Now it's a whole different medicine for them.
That's right. But now, and that's very, very, very true. It's a completely different type of disease.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there. We're going to find it.
Now, and that being said, that's where I started to go, and then I got down another path, is yes, the Alzheimer's Association, yes, they're on the fundraising side, but also support side. If you're a family and you're dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, whether it's you yourself or the family, I mean, this is one of those conditions that if a family member has it, it impacts the entire, it's more of a disease for the family than it is sometimes the individual here. So if you are in that situation, the Alzheimer's Association here in Chavez County, that's what they're there for, to help you with resources, support. So if you're maybe just recently diagnosed with this in your family and you're trying to figure out what to do next, let's reach out to the ALZ.org and see if we can help set you up.
Go online because there's all kinds of areas there that we can help you out.
Absolutely. Especially when you start getting towards the end of life stuff where you're going to need additional helps and cares and things like that where the treatment is or the taking care of this individual is going to be above the scope of your own abilities.
Very much so. You get to that. You can do a lot early on, but you do get to that point to where it's beyond what any average or normal person.
Absolutely.
We've even had nurses well trained in geriatrics who get to that point to where they're not qualified. They're not able to help with that relationship.
This is the brutality that is Alzheimer's. Yes. It literally changes a person's entire personal structure, personality, and everything else.
And it can be harder on the caregiver than it ever is on the patient.
Especially if it's more of one of these types where they have violent fits and things like that.
Yes.
That's
or sundowners. They will sneak out.
Oh, so they're trying to escape. They think
they don't know what's going on.
Gotcha. But in their head, they think someone's out to get them or someone's got them captive or like they're in that kind of situation.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I don't know. My wife was a sundowner.
Okay.
And at sundown, when the sun starts going down, they want to go out and walk and adventure. They want to go places. Now, what the reasoning behind that was, what's going on in the brain, I have no idea.
Wonder if that's like some kind of internal clock thing that's screwed up. Kind of like people that live in like Alaska or places where it's daylight for a long time and dark for a long time, or blind people. Sometimes they have problems delineating night and day and some of that kind of thing. And maybe there's something in the Alzheimer's that's messing with that part of their brain that's doing that. I don't know, but
Could be.
That's what like just me taking the pieces of evidence and putting it together. That's what it reminds me of, something like that.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we're talking about here. So if you need support, reach out. Go, call here locally, come by. Certainly, and of course, reach out. And then, of course, if you want to get involved with the actual Walk to End Alzheimer's, please reach out. Start forming your teams. If you don't, you know what? If you're just an individual looking for teams, I'm sure you can reach out too. There's probably some other individuals looking for teams, and y'all can pair up and work together. And
there you go.
Or like I said, if it's your business or organization wants to put a team together and make a little competition out of it, that'd be great too.
That would be best.
It's all in fun, and the more money we raise, the more money we can devote to research and hopefully end this bad boy altogether.
Yep. Yeah, and we really want more teams out there. Financially, this year, what we had set for goals, our sponsorships are doing pretty good.
Good.
We'd like to have more sponsors, of course, but I mean, we've reached a point now where sponsorships are not as important as teams.
Gotcha.
We want more teams out there.
Well, we want to see people walk in. We want to see people participate in doing that.
And that spreads the word.
Yeah, so ALZ.org, and then I think there's like a thing where you can find the Roswell.
Yes, you go to ALZ.org and you'll ask there's a search area there, Roswell Walk, and then once you get to Roswell Walk, it'll tell you more about our walk,
and then you can
dates
sign
and
up and all that.
You can sign up there and all that kind of stuff.
So ALZ.org, and then type in Roswell Walk, search bar, and it'll take you right.
And my particular website, once you get to Roswell Walk, again, you can do a search for photo finish, and that's where my page is.
Very good. And you can donate to his team here.
Well, you can donate or join.
There you go.
I'm always open to more team
We'll
members.
take more the merrier, right?
That's right.
Come as you are. Good deal.
Come and say hi.
But ALZ.org is where all that starts.
That's the big thing.
And on Facebook, there is an Alzheimer's Association, Chaves County, I think, something like that in there. You can just, Roswell, type that in the search, and you can like and follow. That's a great way to stay abreast on information here locally, or if you want to get in touch with someone, all the contacts are there for that too.
Yeah, that'll do everything you need to know.
Very good. Did we get it all done?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. And we'll see you here later this week with a different hat.
That's right. You got something else this week.
Yeah, I think you got your zoo hat on later this week.
Yeah.
Right? And there, thank you, sir.
That's
Very
an
good.
updated one.
Oh, perfect. Good. That'll update to my other ones here.
Yeah.
So. Thank you, Don, and don't work too hard. We'll see you here in a few days.
I never work too hard because I've already worked too hard.
I'm about to say he ain't working hard. He don't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah, that's right.
So. All right. There, ALZ.org to go and start getting your teams together or contributing and signing up for his team there too. But I know we got a few months out from that, but that's we're close. So. Definitely do there. Hey, got a few minutes before they kick me off the radio here. If you missed any part of our show today, you can check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find all of our interviews and whatnot there. This morning, in the 7 o'clock hour, we had Stacy Wolkowitz and Larry Marker with Change Course New Mexico join us, talking about their event Friday night. And then also one on May 8th as well. We replayed our interview with Talking Character Counts. This is Character Counts Week, and they've got all the stuff going on there. So we kind of had an interview kind of giving a rundown of that. John Hauser from Eastern New Mexico University Portales joined us talking about One Eastern Day this Thursday from 4 to 9 on the campus of ENMUR. And, of course, we just played that interview with the Alzheimer's folks there. So too.
Chock full of info.
Yeah, a bevy.
That's how we like it.
Cornucopia.
It's tasty.
So
it's a beautiful day outside. Nice little breeze. It's going to be a little bit more windy later, but now's a good time to get out there and get it done if you're gonna.
I hope we get rain this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, not like storms and all, but like rain.
Falling sky water.
Yeah, let's like
what a concept.
I don't want to ruin any plans because I know people have weekend stuff, so it doesn't ruin that. But some moisture would be nice.
Yeah.
We're putting in the orders.
If you're listening, out there,
wash your cars this week.
Yes, now would be the good time.
Matter of fact, I got to wash my Jeep.
Oh, have you not done it yet?
I've not. Well, every weekend I think I'm going to do it. And then it's the rain tease and all that. So it's like, well, I'm not going to do it if it's going to rain. And then it doesn't.
Now.
And and so now I'm like, well, should I do it now? I may do it this week, and that'll guarantee rain this weekend. Like maybe today or tomorrow I'll go run it through a car wash.
You washing your Jeep is the same as me making the decision to get my life together. Well, I'm not going to do it now. Tomorrow feels great. That's a good day.
And I'm always like, this Jeep's a little different. My old Jeep, it's like, it's a Jeep, man. It's not supposed to be,
roughed
polished.
around.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
It's meant to be played with. It's not a toy that's supposed to stay in the box.
It's gonna be a little dirty. And,
but the truck now, I understand it's a little newer. It's
got way more bells and whistles.
Feels like a newer toy, but at the same time, it's still got that ruggedness about it.
Oh, sure.
So it's okay. So if you're like a chef and you get a new wok, there's a certain way you have to go about seasoning it.
Yeah, kind of like a disc cooker. Or
first thing you do is you you burn off the patina. So you need to. That's what it is. You need to go get your first wash in so that you can get it dirty.
There you go.
You got to wash your patina off.
There you go.
And then you can go get it dirty.
Well, maybe I'll run it through here.
There you go.
But I'm excited about that. It is, although I need to find some excuses just to drive a little bit because sort of a Ruidoso trip. It's really just been around town with it and things like that. So,
well, how open do you think Kim would be to you just saying, "I'm gonna go for a drive"?
Fine with it. She'd think I'm weird, but she would be fine with it.
Well, I mean,
she'd be like, "What's going on? You don't do that."
So you guys don't have Live 360 then, I assume.
No.
Oh, the freedom that you have. So my friends' group and their family, I have everybody tracked on Live 360. It's an app you can download.
Okay.
Basically, it tells you where everyone is at all points in time.
Oh, okay.
It also, however, tells you how charged their phone is, which is real fun when you have a bunch of teenagers on there that don't charge their stupid phones.
Well, my car is by default that.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, because via either my phone or the Jeep, my wife can. Why are you over there?
It's always pinging a signal.
So I'm if she wants to track me, it's very easy. I don't care because I'm not doing those kinds of things, or I'm worried about that. So
I regularly have a conversation. Hey, where's Will? He's 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Well, that's wildly accurate or pinpointed, but okay. But my sister wants me to join theirs, and I'm like, I don't know if I want you to know about my comings and goings.
It's only good if I'm in trouble.
Right.
The rest of the time, it's none of your business.
Exactly. And I would assume the times I'm in trouble, I don't have my phone, because if I have my phone, I can call my way out of it.
Can you sign in and then turn it on and off at your leisure on the phone?
I think you have the option to turn it off.
Okay, I'll be down with that, but I want it off unless I want it.
But let's extrapolate that. So you turn off. I don't
go.
You turn off your signal. There, where'd he go? Ooh, now he's up some real naughty.
That's why I leave it off all the time unless I want it off. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day.
John Scott. President Trump's first 100 days in office have been a whirlwind of executive orders and clashes with the courts. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton reports.
From firing federal workers to deporting illegal immigrants, the president has pursued an aggressive and controversial agenda with lightning speed. He's upended the global economy with tariffs and signed orders that take direct aim at the law, media, public health, and culture. Donald Trump's MAGA supporters are thrilled with the result, but the larger public isn't as enthusiastic. The president's job approval rating is underwater at 45%, according to the Real Clear Politics average of polls. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, the Trump administration said the University of Pennsylvania violated laws guaranteeing women equal opportunities in athletics by letting a transgender swimmer compete on the school's women's team and in the team facilities. An investigation by the U.S. Education Department's Office for Civil Rights has focused on Leah Thomas, who became a leading symbol of transgender athletes. Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party won Canada's federal election.
After Canada polls closed, the Liberals were projected to win more of Parliament's 343 seats than the Conservatives. It wasn't immediately clear, though, if they would win an outright majority, at least 172, or would need to rely on one of the smaller parties to pass legislation. In a victory speech before supporters in Ottawa, Mark Carney stressed the importance of Canadian unity in the face of Washington's threats. He also said the mutually beneficial system Canada and the US had shared since World War II has now ended. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Wall Street is higher. The Dow up 185 points. More at